Water.
Earth.
Fire.
Air.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity unlike any other. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku after his volcanic island erupted, members of all four nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Mako, a firebender from the Fire Nation.
Hi, I'm Archie. I play Aquila, a bloodbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
G'day, I'm Brandon. I play Rung-Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hi, my name's Bree and I play Shurva, a weapon specialist from the Fire Nation.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Al, an airbender from the Northern Air Temple.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the Lost Archives. It is so lovely to have you all join us once again for our Avatar Legends campaign, Embers of War. Now, tonight, we are unfortunately a player down. Archie is a little baby man. He had a big day at work and he's all tucked it out. So he will not be joining us. To be fair, I think it was like a 13 or 14 hour day at work. So
So it was a long shift.
Actually, I think he's really struggling. So
Leave
we
my dad
will
alone.
give him the benefit of the doubt and let him actually have a bit of a...
Like when you're talking about him like that and like his photo is him like
Oh yeah. It's like you can hear what I'm saying.
he's so grumpy.
He's so
That's
mad at you.
amazing.
It's my old friend.
So for those of you listening to the podcast, you won't hear Archie's voice tonight. I will be playing the character of Aquila, which means that the absolutely shocking photo he sent me to be visible on the overlay when his camera's not on is just him looking really sad and grumpy, which is exactly what it is. So the whole session, you're just going to see Archie sitting there going like, looking all
Sounds like a villager in Minecraft.
He is.
Let's
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's what Archie is. Archie's a villager in Minecraft. Is it? What are they called? Testificates. I think that's what they used to be called. Like when they, because like in the old version of Minecraft, in the old version of Minecraft before they'd like turned off names and stuff. The code for them I think was like test if or something like that, and so it came out as like testificate if you like read it on the thing. This is a weird bit of trivia that I'm like flashing back 2 years ago.
Testificates.
Yeah.
Historical Scotland, a certificate of good character that was required to allow travel between parishes in the 18th and early 19th centuries.
Just want to point out Archie's feeling well enough to be in chat. I can see him. I see you.
Wait, you can see him?
I can see him right now. I see you in chat, Archie. So yeah, Archie won't be joining us. I will be playing the character of Aquila tonight, which is going to be loads of fun for me. I have to get my my bloodbending books up just so that I can make sure I'm using all of the bloodbending techniques that Aquila has been saving up for this whole time. That's pretty much it for all of the announcements for tonight. Sorry that we didn't have a Curse of Strahd stream last night. We've had a couple of people with a bit of a nasty flu over the past week or so. There's a pretty brutal one going around Australia right now, which has taken out a number of us at different times. So we're all slowly recovering. My voice does have a bit of a tendency to drop in and out. So I will do my best to commit to the character voices with the same level of quality that you are used to. But if there's any point where my voice suddenly fails me, everyone's going to be sounding like this, okay? So we'll do our best to get through that. Just deal with it as it comes. Alrighty. Now, we didn't have a session for Avatar last week, so I better do a bit of a recap to get you guys back up to speed. Was there anything you guys wanted to, any announcements, any questions or anything before we start the session, before I do the recap? Nope, all looking good.
Did we want to go through our, like, what we chose for our advancements?
We could do that now before the recap. Yeah, that makes that makes perfect sense. I think, yeah. I was going to do it as like part of the thing, but I'm realizing like it's a hard one to do in character, being like, oh, Shurva, what did you learn while you took a 5-minute sit down? Well, I learned how to do this. So yeah, that's a good call. Let's do this now. So yeah, Bree, thank you for volunteering. What did you take for your progression?
So I took a move from a different playbook. I'm not sure which playbook it is. I no longer remember because I did this 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
But
yep.
I took I Don't Hate You. Which is when...
That's so nice to hear. It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
When you guide and comfort someone in an awkward, understated, or idiosyncratic fashion, roll with passion instead of harmony. If you mark insecure or insecure is already marked.
That's kind of cool.
So I can mark insecure to roll with passion instead and be really awkward about helping someone feel better about themselves. It's just me as a person.
Fantastic. That's so good.
Words certificate, idiosyncratic, vicissitudes of this anomaly.
Welcome to the Lost Thesaurus. Tonight we're going to be discussing more words. Andrew, what did you take for Mako's progression?
I took a move from my own playbook. I took... Ooh, where is it? Your rules stink. So
Hey.
I roll with passion, and if someone is surprised by my argument, a couple of things can happen. I can shift balance, or they just have to explain to me a way through this situation. So I can just sort of bypass confrontations with this, hopefully.
I think this is more sort of aimed at like moments of authority where you're kind of given a directive or...
Yeah, it's like...
If I'm remembering this correctly. Because
instead of going my full action path now, I'm trying to go towards my forgiveness.
Nice. By saying your rules stink, here's what I think.
Like instead of jumping into full argument and like... Okay. Actually, like taking aggressive action. Normally I just fight, okay? Normally I just fight my way through that.
Yeah. I like how you're like, I don't want to start arguments anymore, but your rules stink.
Yeah.
Okay, so how it actually is worded is different, but yes.
Yes, yeah.
It's worded differently.
No, but I do remember that one. I remember reading that one and liking it a lot. It sounded really fun.
Yeah.
Brandon, what was Rung's progression?
I was looking to pick up Earth Art.
So this is not a move from another playbook. This is an advanced move. This is a move that you will need to be taught. So that's a fighting technique and not a move.
Okay. I'll come back to you on that one then.
Do you know where you might be able to learn that sort of thing?
Where?
From a place that has lots of earthbenders. Like, I don't know, somewhere in the Earth Kingdom, perhaps.
Some sort of city that's nearby.
Sounds like where we are.
Oh, we should go to the capital, guys.
Beeline there, right now.
So the capital would be back towards Ba Sing Se. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
I think it's near Omashu. Is that where we should go? Omashu?
No. That's
we don't want to go to Omashu.
No. Who wants to go there?
So Brandon, what would you like to take as your progression for Rung?
I'll come back to you on that one.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Dave, what have you taken as Arl's progression?
I am a very boring player.
Yep.
Because all my level ups have been either raise a step by 1.
Yep.
Or take a move from another playbook, and that move from the other playbook was the one that lets me go +1 to be a +3.
Yep.
So I just took a +1 in passion. So I'll sit there and just rethought his life and woke up with a bit more vigor. So currently he's +3 in creativity, +3 in focus, and +2 in passion.
Just to double check, I think there are limits to how many times you can give yourself the... No, there's not. Raise a step.
No, there's not. It's not.
Up to +2 any given stat.
Al is the most well-balanced character among us. He is.
Yeah, shit.
He is the best person.
It's just, but ironically, your lowest stat is harmony, which is the stat I don't know that I would most associate with the Airbenders, which is quite funny. Because let's be honest, probably passion is the Fire Nation, focus probably the Earth Kingdom, creativity the Water Tribe, and then harmony would probably be the Air Nomads, and that's your lowest stat block. That's fantastic.
Al's just the most stat person there is.
He's harmonious compared to the rest of the party, but he's not harmonious compared to the Air Nomads. So
yeah.
Wait, what's your stat for harmony?
0.
0.
Oh.
So it's not -1. I did do a +1 on it. So it's,
I do have a +1 to it.
I have a +1 as well.
When Mako and Shurva are more harmonious than you are. That's got to stick.
I am
need
more
to get
passionate.
my passion to +3, but like that's a later problem.
Yeah, see,
So-
I only have +1 to passion. I have +2 to my focus.
Brandon, have you had a bit of a chance to look and see what you'd like to take?
He's sweating. He's sweating. He's
There
still
was-
looking.
Yeah, I was like, I'm reading. There was one that I was like, seems kind of cool, but it changes like to like smash through walls, changes between passion sort of focus, but passion and focus are the same amount for me anyways. I'm just like, that's not too cool. I don't think I can apply any more stuff to stats right now. I'll keep reading through these. And
That's
if
okay.
I have
You
an
keep reading.
inspiration, I'll let you know.
You could
It's
always
okay.
just choose to unlock your moment of balance.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the center, you can do
When you
something
get to
crazy.
center. Yeah.
When you're not extremely far from center as you are now.
Yeah, I'm very far. Maybe I should do that and I'll make that
That's
more
okay,
fun.
because if we
see.
each guide and comfort you and roll well, we can move you back to center.
What is guiding comfort? What is guiding comfort? Let's do this.
It's
Yeah,
harmony.
that'd be cool.
So
This
we're
would
going
be
to do
like
better than
our-
Dave.
Yeah.
A great suggestion. This is how do we make Rung not Angie?
Not
How do we
angry.
make Rung
So he's not
not
an
angry?
NC teenager anymore.
Oh, I don't think I can help with that.
We'll tell you what,
Oh,
while you
come
have a bit of
on.
a think.
I was a young boy.
No. No. Let's do our recap and jump into the session. When you figured out what you want to take, Brandon, give us a shout and we'll sort that out for Rung. And we'll go through Archie's when he's back next week. I have it on good authority, i.e. Archie in chat, saying that he has not done any of the things for his level up, because of course he fucking hasn't, because it was the minimum requirement and he had 2 full weeks to do it. So, of course, he has not yet done it. So we will get to him.
He
Yeah.
picked a move.
Did he? Which move?
He didn't decide yet.
So...
So he's in the same position as Rung. So
Oh, true. Okay, fair. In that case,
you
then he was
can't pick
bad as
on
it
one
should.
and not the other.
That's right. Fuck you, Brandon. So let's do our recap and jump straight back into the session so that we can enjoy the wonderful magical world of Avatar Legends, just to undo my quick F you to Brandon. So, let me do a quick recap. We'll jump straight back in. Our story has been following Shurva and Mako of the Fire Nation, Rung of the Earth Kingdom, Aquila of the Water Tribe, and Aang of the Air Nomads. With the recent death of Avatar Roku following the eruption of his volcanic island home, omens of war and conflict seem numerous. The team are currently on the trail of the 4 elemental spirits in an attempt to calm their rage and undo the damage done by a careless wish made of the whale spirit of the Siwong Desert. With 2 spirits appeased and only 2 to go, the team are in high spirits. Having left the Eastern Air Temple following the calming of the Sky Bison spirit, the team are now traveling through the southern regions of the Earth Kingdom, seeking a librarian, Nomu, who had been stolen from the Eastern Air Temple library by the Guiding Wind. After tracking the Guiding Wind through to the Foggy Swamp, a vast area of overgrown mangrove swamp towards the southwestern corner of the Earth Kingdom, the group have managed to locate and rescue Nomu, along with a Fire Nation priest and another airbender who had been trapped by the Guiding Wind at the top of the massive Banyan Grove tree. We left off last session with a very tense combat between the party and Lashar, one of the leaders of the Guiding Wind and sister to Legshay, a air nomad sister who had been a bit of a mentor for Aal during their journey towards the Northern Water Tribe. Some incredibly skilled bending and very clever last-minute planning resulted in Lashar being taken by the vines within the Foggy Swamp, pulled away and taken somewhere else. And the last the party saw was the vines wrapping around her and dragging her down into the depths of the swamp. While Legshay searched for her older sister, the rest of the party headed back up to the top of the Banyan Grove tree, met with Mazon, the Fire Nation priest, the fire priest, along with Seng, the air nomad who had also been trapped. Aal has just left the rest of the group to go and catch up with Legshay, and that is where we left off. The group now at a bit of a crossroads of where they want to head next. Their pathway leading in a number of different directions. So, let's jump with Aal first, and then we'll come back to the rest of the party. Aal, as you throw yourself off the side of the Banyan Grove tree, the swamp below you almost a green blur at this massive height, like low clouds drifting between you and the treetops below. as you begin plummeting down with your glider, looking out for signs of Sister Legshay. For a moment, you see nothing but this unending sea of green canopies, until you spot, just at the corner of your vision, down towards the left of where you're dropping out of the sky, a flash of orange between the tree trunks. And as you angle your kite downwards and begin heading down, very quickly you see the sight of Sister Legshay, currently flying low just underneath the trees in the swamp in a circular motion around what looks to be a small, almost clearing in the treetops above. You can see the dark swamp water below, but more importantly, bubbles rising from the surface of the water, churning and creating this almost frothy, tumultuous surface. What would you like to do?
I think I'd like to glide in line with Legshay. Sister Legshay, what? Have you found something?
Al, you are back. I thought you were heading to the top of the tree with your friends.
I was worried about you, Sister Legshay. You shouldn't be alone right now.
Thank you, Al. I'm not sure. I noticed this patch of bubbles. I wondered if at first it might be where my sister had been taken below the water, but I can see now that there is too much air to have been her. As you can see, and she points down, you can see still bubbles, almost boiling away, like the surface of the water is releasing this huge amount of air. I'm not sure if this is where she was taken or not. I have not found any trace of her apart from a few scraps of cloth tangled in the thickets and branches. I fear she might be gone.
I was near where Lashar got smacked. Is this kind of in that area? Are there any landmarks that I can see?
It's very hard to tell just because of the sheer similarity of the vastness of the swamp. Do you want to roll assess the situation for me and see if you do recognize anything around here?
Is my frying
that is a 13 with my plus 3.
Oh, yes. You are not too far from where the battle took place. You can tell this by the upper layers of the treetops nearby being broken and smashed by that sudden blast of wind that Lashar did, dropping down from above like a bullet as she shot down towards you. You can also see the small island where Shurva had dived in to save Mazon, the fire priest, along with Nomu. So yeah, you're only a couple of probably like 20 meters away from where you'd actually stopped on the back of Mango and where Shurva had dived into the water below. So it's conceivable this is where...
I didn't have rope on me, I assume.
Probably not.
Is there a broken vine that's relatively long, like lying on the ground anywhere, and like a log or a rock that's been broken off that I could tie to the end of the vine?
Yeah, as you look around, the trees hang heavy with long tendrils of vines and creepers.
I don't want to cut a vine off. Is there a vine like that's already been like just naturally fallen off?
There's a number hanging from the trees, that the ends hanging loose, the vines themselves having grown across the trunk and now reaching out towards another trunk, hanging loose and occasionally sort of drifting in this very phantom breeze between the trees. As you begin unwrapping the vine, you've probably got about 8-9 meters of vine before you'd start tearing it off the tree, where it's sort of like tiny roots have bound into the trunk.
Something that's gonna sink, so a rock or a log, and then just kind of like drop it into that where the bubbles are coming from.
There's rocks on the small beach where Shurva had been before. Legshay watches a little bit confused as you just...
If she is down there, then like let's just give her a vine to try and help her climb out with.
Oh, of course, yes.
I mean, those vines could be a giant leech, but they could also be some sort of airbending trick that we just don't know of.
Yes, of course. That is not a bad idea at all. I will get this. I will get this vine off if you go fetch a rock. That's a very good idea, Al.
Al fetches a rock, just like a
fly over to the beach.
Off for the rock, comes back really happy with it, tail wagging.
As you fly back and hand Legshay the rock, she wraps the vine around it, tying it gently, making sure not to damage the vine, and then looking down into the water below, drops the stone off. The stone falls quickly, the vine untangling as it drops down, and with this, it drops into the center of the bubble patch, sinking out of view. For a moment, the vine hangs loose, and then suddenly goes taut, pulling. The branch that you're both standing on that the vine is growing from groans ominously and begins bending down towards this disturbance in the water. As it does so, you watch as the water suddenly begins to spiral, the bubbles on the surface starting to spin around the vine, getting faster and faster and faster, until the water begins forming into a vortex. The bubbles no longer rising to the surface, now the water pulling down into this vortex.
I'm gonna get off the branch because I don't want to like fling it up.
Good call. Good call.
Legshay
jumps off as well. Not a moment too soon. There's this ominous groan, and you watch as the branch bends almost 90 degrees and then cracks. And with this sudden rush, the branch down into the water with this loud splash before disappearing below the surface.
I'll check if the trees are about to attack them.
As you look around frantically, doesn't seem to be any response from the nearby trees. But more importantly, as you stare down into the water, you watch as the second the tree branch disappears into the water, the vortex slowly swirls down, losing speed, and then stops. The water now calm and undisturbed once again.
Are there still bubbles there?
No bubbles now.
Sister Legshay, do you have any theories on what we just saw? Because I don't.
I have no idea what that was. I don't think that was my sister, though. As far as I'm aware, she's not a waterbender.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I thought I was being silly. Maybe I thought maybe she was bending the oxygen out of the water and keeping herself alive under there, or something silly like that. I don't know.
That would be some incredibly advanced bending to pull air from
I've
water.
seen her do some incredibly advanced things in the last 24 hours, and it's been really scary.
Yeah.
She is. I'll catch his words.
Poor.
She's very strong. Very, very strong.
She was always gifted, but that's unfortunately, I think, made her arrogant and self-assured beyond what is healthy.
But if to reassure you, Sister Legshay, someone that's strong, I honestly don't think that'll be the last we see of her. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm pretty naive, but I really doubt that was the end of her.
Thank you. My feelings towards my sister have always been rather complicated, and her taking me prisoner for the last few days has not helped with that. I don't know if I want to see her again. If I'm being honest, she is crueler and more callous now than she has ever been, and to be honest, there is little of my sister left in her, I think.
Yeah, I didn't say I wanted to see her again, but yeah, no. I mean, yeah. You seem worried though, which is why you're looking for her. So mixed feelings. I get it. Don't worry, Sister Legshay. I get it.
We should head back to the others. I think we have been out here long enough. You look like you need a bit of a rest. I know I could do with a bit of a rest. Your friends as well. I'm sure a bit of a chance to catch their breath.
Feel this. Should this be swollen like this?
Oh gosh, no, that is not good. What are you showing her, by the way? Because that could be misconstrued.
Yeah, okay. There was no sexual harassment here. Yeah.
Whoa, I was talking about your ankles. What are you talking about?
But no confusion of the ankles. My cankles, maybe. No, just like the shoulder where he like grazed across the when coming down, and I'm sure he grazed the tree line and stuff.
Yeah, looking now, it's already this dark purple bruise blossoming across your shoulder and down across your back. As she looks, she goes, that is going to need some attention. That looks really bad. Do you have a healer with you? Is anyone in your group good at healing?
I mean, we're good at healing the world's problems. But
Remember when we had a healer? Good time.
What do we mean?
No. We just use nature's love of time to heal us. Is that a splinter or is that a branch? I can't tell.
She looks closer.
I'll
A bit
just
of
like
both,
to-
I think. It's like 3 splinters that are like partially joined, almost forming like a branch. Did you want me to pull that out now before we try and fly up?
No. If you pull it out, it might start bleeding more. So let's just leave it for now. Until somewhere we can get some clean water with this. 'Cause I don't want to have to wash it out with swamp water.
Yes, that is a very bad idea. Let's get back up to the rest of the group and
And there
what
are
they
also
think.
leeches in the water, so if I bleed and it drips in the water, we could be in trouble. They're massive.
Leeches. Yes. Oh, we would not want to fuck about with leeches. She gives you a bit of a smile.
With my assessor situation 13, is there
Oh.
anything more I can gather from what that was in the water?
Yes. Technically you've asked the 2 questions for it, but one of those questions is directly related to this. So yeah, looking down at the water, as you have a bit of a chance to think, flying. Let's say as you fly back up towards the tree. I mean, it's going to take you a little bit of time to fly up. It's very tall. During this time, you have a moment to sort of think and reflect. The fact that the bubbles were coming up from somewhere indicates that there was air at the bottom. Or at least coming through somewhere. And a lot of air
there's
to be
an
bubbling up.
underground
And
channel
then
or something like that.
when the rock went in, that seemed
Sealed
to do something. Whether it passed through, but that the rock passing through activated something. That vortex, the reason it got so strong, you suspect, is because of the vine. If you just dropped a rock, there would have been a single spiral of the vortex, and then nothing else as the rock passed through whatever it was at the bottom of the river. But the fact the vine was there, that seems important, because it disappeared the second the vine and the branch were pulled into the water. The second there was nothing in the channel, it went back to normal again.
So like it almost made some sort of siphon that pulled the water through. Is that what I'm feeling?
That's a possibility, yeah.
So there could be some sort of underwater tunnel that Lashar might have escaped through. And if it is a dead end, then she's stuffed because we just blocked the end with a rock. But like,
as you think about it, the rock, it wasn't big enough to block an entrance that a person could fit through. It was a pretty small rock.
okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe, but it seems unlikely in your mind.
Oh well. I'll just close it.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. So as you fly back up, let's discuss what the rest of you have been doing. Rung, I can see you've messaged to say that you have picked. You've chosen a move driven by justice. Can you tell us about driven by justice?
Justice. Get justice. I'm Rockman. Hey, it's a very complex ability. I'm gonna have to take a long time to read it all out to you guys. Driven by justice. Take +1 to passion.
Okay, fantastic.
Pretty good.
I love that you didn't just choose to add +1 to your passion. You took a
move to do
for it instead.
Yeah, because justice.
Justice.
I don't know if there's a limit to man moves you can. That'd be funny if there is. Oh no, I have to lose.
2 from
justice.
your book, 2 from another book. That's the limit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, this is from another book then.
So that... Brandon, never change, buddy. Never change.
But I'm sure retrospectively, if you want to add a +1 to his passion, you can just do that.
it's too late now.
Yeah.
The least power gamey person, the least min-maxer I've ever seen. If anything, it's max minning. It's the opposite. Where you deliberately take the thing that limits you in the worst possible way, and I respect that as a player.
Some people think life is too easy.
Yeah.
I'll admit this. I used to have the rule book, and then I had to wipe my PC and clean it out, so I don't have the rule book anymore.
I've got some really good
My
news.
in my
The
bed.
entire rulebook is available using Beyond Legend, which we have. as the reference at any point, and you can see all the things on each character page that you do with all the limits and limitations. It's all there.
A link to the rulebook is also in the chat. It's on a Google Drive.
It's also on the Google Drive. Everyone has access to it.
What, we have a Google Drive?
Yeah.
When do you guys get a Google Drive?
Oh my god.
Okay. I thought I was bad.
I feel like you've made this bed and now you will lie in it.
Yeah, I'm like,
That was you. That was you fluffing the pillow with "Do we have a Google Drive, Nate?" Just so. What have the three of you been doing while Al flew down? Because Al's going to be gone for about 10 minutes.
Okay, so what was left up here? Just out of curiosity.
So there's a number of tents.
Yep.
One Sky Bison that's not yours, Mango, who is our Sky Bison. The shattered stone tablet, the section that you stole off of her, the other section is gone. The larger chunk of stone tablet seems to be gone. You've got the smaller chunk that you shattered off it, that petrified bark. There looks to be some supplies in the tents, some bedrolls. There's a very clever campfire constructed so that it's not on the wood of the tree itself. It's like contained within almost this like ceramic bowl that's holding the fire, like a portable fire pit, essentially, in a ceramic bowl that the air nomads were using to boil water to drink and to prepare food. Hello?
And it's getting to nighttime yet?
It is heading towards the later afternoon, yeah.
Okay, and now that we're in game, now that the stream started, how long do we actually have until the spirits just decide to kill me?
Mako, do you remember? Have you been keeping track?
It was meant to be... I think it was like 2 weeks.
There's an easy way to tell. You just need to look at the moon. You know that you had by the next full moon.
Shit.
So when the moon comes out, you'll know.
So that was there. I spent about a week getting
So it was the full... So this... You made the wish on the full moon. That was a full moon and you made the wish. And you had until the next full moon.
What's the moon looking like at the
It hasn't come out yet.
It's not during the day? No! Okay.
Hasn't come out yet.
But it's getting late, so it'd probably be best to set up like a camp.
You won't have to wait long. You know the moon normally rises around about sort of like 6, 7 o'clock.
Okay, so it is like set up camp time sort of thing.
If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Sort of. I'm gonna actually rummage the tents to look for more information as to what they were doing here.
Do you want to roll me an assess the situation check just to see how successful you are as you rummage through the tents? While Marco's doing that, Rung, Mako, Aquila, and Shurva were all talking with Mazon, the Fire Nation priest, as well as Seng and it's a miss, Marco. That's a 6. I'll take you through what you find in a minute, but spoiler alert, it's not very much. And Nomu,
Maybe you
Mr.
should ask
Live.
Shurva.
You guys were all in deep in conversation with them. Nomu had revealed that he believed that the Guiding Wind were after the identity of the Avatar, which is what Mako had already kind of figured out previously. Nomu was very impressed you'd figured this out, Mako. Shurva and Mako, you had both also gotten very excited by Mazon's name, and there was a bit of national pride as you talked about how great Fire Nation names were compared to other nations' names. Yeah, sick name. And that is where we left off. Basically,
I forgot about that.
That's where we left off. It was just this like weird moment where your character's nationalism bled through into you. You're like, oh, best name of the campaign. Oh. It was like just what?
The nation names are amazing, except Mako.
Yeah,
except Mako. Yeah, we did discuss this last time. At this point it's now bullying if we do this again for a session. So we probably should avoid talking about how shit Marco's name is. Also, we need to discuss Mako. I don't know how you pronounce the letters B and U together, which is how you've spelt your last name. But you have referred yourself as Mako Bao for a very long time, and I've let it slide. But there's no universe where the letters B and U actually...
Okay. Now, is that on here or is it on the other one as well?
It's on both. It's not on the overlay because I looked at it.
You've literally been Mako Booth this entire time.
Look,
the entire time.
I'll tell you right now. I wrote this out, never looked at it again.
It's also Mako capital B, capital U as well.
I'll take it. I never looked at it again. I put it out, never looked at it, never changed it.
I've let it go for 40 odd sessions, but I'll be honest, it makes my blood boil every time I see it.
I'll correct it because that's not what I meant.
Mako Boo.
Like, put a W on the end of it, like boo boo.
No. Please no. While Mako fixes that, Rung and Shurva, what would the two of you like to be doing? So Mako at this point just stands up, nods at you, and then walks off towards the tents. And you watch as he pushes the tent flap aside, and you hear the sound of chaotic rustling from inside the tent. A bowl gets thrown out the tent flap of the first tent. There's a few moments, then a book flies out and just drops off the edge of the tree branch into nowhere as Mako very chaotically begins rifling through all of the possessions of the air nomads. Shurva, as you watch this happen, there's no way he's being careful or thorough about this. He's just chucking shit around, throwing it out. Mako, this kind of would count as acting foolish enough to undo your condition if you...
Through this, can I at least replace my frying pan?
Sure. Yeah,
Yes.
sure. I think that's fair. Fantastic. While Mako is making a massive mess of this, what would the two of you like to be doing?
Hard question.
Just as a quick aside, I've just scrolled way up in our Discord messages, and your first name was Euroboo, and then your next one was Mako Boo. So it has always been Boo.
Oh, it has been Boo. Okay.
It's always been Boo.
But you've been calling yourself
Anyway.
Bao, and I've just...
Yeah.
I think you said it
I'm
at one point in an.
Oh,
No.
No?
blaming the DM.
Okay, I must have just.
DM's
Because
late.
I asked you to say your name, and you said Mako Bao. And I remember this distinctly, because I looked at
Why
the
didn't
name
you
that you'd
bring it
written.
up then?
And I looked at you, and I looked at the name, and I went, okay then.
This is
I
your
assumed-
fault, Owen.
I assumed it was like the Sal incident that you changed your mind.
No, I
I love that someone on the YouTube comments from our last video was like, I forgot that it was mistyped as Sal for so long. No, it wasn't a mistype.
It wasn't
That was
mistyped.
how it was
That's-
meant to be
Yeah.
spelled.
Genuinely
trying to
what...
be edgy.
Oh.
He was edging so hard, he was like edging on the letter S, refusing to acknowledge it. Just really edging that letter S out.
But watched a bunch of Better Call Saul and was like, I'm gonna do that. Better Call Saul.
Better call Sal.
Yeah, but
Oh my
with
goodness.
silence.
I think after watching Mako get up and start to
Yeah.
rummage through stuff, I would probably that instinct that I've had for helping him out for so long, even though he's not my ward at the moment, I would go over and be like, what are you looking for? Can I fucking help you? Because you're just making a mess right now.
I know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do now.
As you stand up and you're walking away, Shurva, Mazon the Fire Priest nods and goes, we do need to talk about how I'm getting back to the Fire Nation. We need to discuss this. I'm in the middle of this swamp. I need to get back to the Fire Temple.
Well, we're not going anywhere tonight. It's starting to get late already. We don't want to be flying in the middle of the night to get you there. So we will figure that out.
I
Leeches
I
are
just wanna
dangerous
know
at
there's a
night.
plan.
We need to sit tight. We'll have a good camp. And how you good with old text, perhaps?
As in, can I read? Yes, obviously.
I hold up the petricite slab, got any idea? And I just sort of show it at him, and then
You have there what is commonly referred to as a rock. I can see there's a fragment of carving on it, but it looks
That's a real
pictorial,
rock.
and I can't read it. It's not letters.
Ah, okay, interesting.
I need letters to read.
So these aren't letters that you'd know. Oh, okay.
No, it's a fragment of a pictorial carving of some sort.
Interesting. I kind of thought that would be the ace in the hole there, you might know something about that, but it's okay, it's fine. I'll take out a bit of. Do I have a bit of paper or anything like that? I can just.
Why would Rung
pull
be
up from where
carrying
that's-
paper?
I used to take notes with my coal, a little notepad.
On rocks
It's a
that you would then.
work.
Yes.
Scratched them on
Yeah,
rocks and then threw them at Al.
True. Yeah. Well, I'd like to find.
Oh, I've got a
blank piece of
memo!
paper and some coal.
What's a memo?
Actually, Rung, just so you know, you wouldn't be able to write with coal because the nature of it is too fragmentary. It's almost got a sand-like consistency. You would have to use, and I'm going to say a dirty word to your ears, you would have to use charcoal if you wanted to. Yeah. I know. Calm yourself, my child. But you would have to use... You would have to have used charcoal because the fire burns it down to a much finer grain, and that allows you to leave an imprint behind as you write. That's why you can use charcoal to write, and you can't use coal.
What if I ground it up into fine powder to I'm just looking to
Yeah,
right now. Just
you have to apply
like, a
some
bit
sort
of
of
blank paper
to it as
and
well.
just like
Yeah.
get some like charcoal or anything, and just do like a rubbing over the with paper overside the stone, so I can have like a copy of it one side. So,
Yeah, so the fragment you
Charcoal.
have, there's only a tiny section of carving. We're talking about like 8 or 9 centimeters of this of the top half of whatever this carving was. It looks like swirling patterns curling back in on themselves as you take a rubbing. Yeah, that's a great idea to have a copy of it. That's brilliant. You now have a rubbing of the let's call it the petrified wood slab, or the runic tablet, let's call it. But the section you've got's very small in terms of the rubbing, and it's just fragmentary. There's not much to be learned from just this fragment.
okay, it's still good. I'm going to keep a copy in. I'll wait till Arl and Shurva that are come back from their discovery to see whether or not should keep this on us or maybe share it with Mr. Library. I don't know. Because Mr. Library, was he part of that conversation when I was pretty much just showing it in front of, like, I forget his name now, Fire Nation dude and the other dudes? Like, did anyone else seem receptive to this sort of stuff, or was it just like him going, nah, man?
As you watch, Seng at this point is poking around the campfire, and looks like he's trying to sort of like find some leeks to grill and some food to prepare. Looks like he's getting a bit hungry. Nomu at this stage is just sitting on the edge of one of the branches, looking out across as the sun slowly sets.
I'd like to check in with Nomu now, knowing like the Fire Nation guy doesn't have much to do with it. Just to check in with Nomu and just show him pretty much the slab and like the little paper I've got on me, just to see whether or not he has any inclination of what it could be, like more information about it, perhaps. Take
it over to Nomu. Yeah, as you walk over to Nomu and sit down next to him on the branch and look across at him. Do you say anything to get his attention, or just sort of sit down and, hey, what's this? Hold up the stone in his face.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm like, hey Nomu, mind if I take a seat?
Of course not, my boy. Of course not. Sorry, I was just thinking how nice it is to see the sun again.
I'd sit down, just sort of cross my legs with him, trying to look nearly as calm and meditative as I suppose he is right now. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. I guess it's been a pretty rough, what's it been, like 3 or 4 days for him at this point? Since he's been on kidnapped?
Actually, about 5 days, yeah. Since he was captured from the Eastern Air Temple. 4 days. No, 4 days. You're right. 4 days.
I thought it was about like that. But yeah, I imagine it's been a rough couple of days for you, Nomu. Must be good to not be tied up or in a cage right now.
Oh yes, very nice. My wrists are still a bit raw from the binds they put on. I tried to get myself free,
and he holds up, and you can see there's like raw skin and some scabs and bleeding cracks across his skin around the wrists where he clearly ropes had burned through.
I was trying to get free. I was worried that when those earthbenders kidnapped me, I was worried that they were taking me hostage or something, and it was so much worse to discover it was my own people there. Yeah, nomads.
It's a bit of a surprise, that whole guiding wind kind of thing, and it's a shame we only have a male waterbender right now. If we still had Oki here, we might be able to do something about that, but fortunately we can only make you some tea, so I don't know if that's going to help much, but no, it's good to see you're a free man now, not being tortured, I suppose, by that crazy lady, to say the least.
Yes, Lashar was a troubled spirit, I think would be fair to say. Yes. I think Seng will be taking me back to the Eastern Air Temple by the sounds of things, so I'll be making a full report, and I think we might need to get the rest of the nomads mobilized, see if we can have better protection for the children who are currently under watch at the temples, and work harder to discover the identity of the new avatar and make sure we can keep them safe from the guiding wind.
I feel like they're not going to stop anytime soon. Even though Seng's gone now, I hope she stays gone for a fact of that. I guess I was just interested because I know that they obviously wanted you because you know a lot about this stuff they're researching when it comes to, well, it wasn't, get his name now, the big black bad spirit, the big wiggly tentacle dude. I forget his name now. But just referencing him,
Yavu.
I know it wasn't
Correct?
Yavu, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy we met in the spirit
I'm
world.
not an expert on spirits. My area of expertise is history and keeping records of the current population of the air nomads, making sure we have a record of all births and deaths within our lands. You might not be aware, but there's a really high concentration of airbenders, much higher than any other nation. Most children born to air nomad parents, or even one airbender parent, will be an airbender themselves. A number of us are curious as to why this is and what this effect might be. That was one of the reasons that my research was looking at births and deaths amongst the air nomads. Some believed that it might be a cycle of reincarnation similar to the Avatar. Others believed that it was just the spirituality of the air nomads, a concentration of spiritual energy. I was curious as to what the reason might be. That was one of the reasons why I was involved in that information gathering.
I guess it's like, is it pretty much air nomads? Like every time they have children, they have a bender?
Yes, for the vast majority. And even more interestingly, even those who join the air nomads from other nations within a few generations, their children, their great-grandchildren will be airbenders as well. It's fascinating.
Wait, so if I had a wife who was an earthbender, and we lived with air nomads and began to learn the ways of air nomads and airbending, our children could later be air nomads?
Yes, quite possibly. That's one of the things we're looking to explore, and what we were hoping this work would uncover. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would become a target for a group hoping to use it to kidnap or to take possession of the next avatar, a child, a newborn child. I never would have imagined my work would be used in such a foul way.
Rung's pretty lighthearted, dopey, whatever about things, but just that sort of learning that people aren't always going to be like earthbenders or airbenders or anything like that. It's not just like forever. He's kind of just like, yeah, wow, that's kind of strange. Or evil, even, that someone would want to do that and take your research for such bad means. I guess I didn't know it was that sort of things you were researching. I was actually wanting to show you this stone to see if you knew much about anything that's on there. Asked
yes.
the Fire Nation guy, he wasn't too sure about it.
No. Lashar showed me the stone a number of times. I think she hoped that I might be able to decipher what it was or where it had come from. This is only a fragment. Where's the rest of it?
I think I don't think she had it because she was flying around pretty fast. There's no way she was carrying that. She wasn't strong enough like Earth Nation. But I think some of the other guys must have come back and taken it, or that other old guy that was there. I forget his name now as well. The one who was making tea with Shurva.
Brother Pion.
Brother Pion. I think he was the last person we seen around before we flew off. So
I still am not sure his role in all of this. He seemed reticent to be doing the bidding of the guiding wind at times, and other times more than keen to follow her directions. Brother Pion seems to be playing his own game. I'm not sure what to think of him.
Change it. Seemed like she was taking it to the extreme, but he wanted to take it maybe down to an 8. So maybe he thought he could change the extremist.
Maybe.
That person.
Maybe. I'll not pretend to understand the man's motivations. But no, it's a shame this is a very small fragment. You've only got a tiny bit of the top carving. The whole thing together was beautiful. The patterns, the way they swirled around and wove together almost looked like an artistic representation of the wind itself spiraling around. Did you know? You might actually know this as an earthbender. This isn't actually true stone. I believe this is petrified wood, a piece of bark or wood that has been turned to stone over time.
I'm glad you called it what it actually is. Can you believe the Fire Nation guy just called it stone?
Can I believe the Fire Nation would be ignorant in the intricacies and specifics of certain types of rock? I can believe it. Yes, I could believe that.
Exactly. It's kind of hard being around a bunch of Fire Nation people that just don't understand any of these things. You try and get excited to them about metallurgy or anything like that, and they just too much.
Nomu gives you a really sympathetic look and pats you on the back.
Rung takes that wholeheartedly, like, finally. Well, I guess, like, I've got a copy of this. I don't know if you'd like a copy of this, if it helps for you to take it back with you to the Air Temple, but...
No, I'll probably have a go at drawing out as much of it as I can remember, and maybe present that to the archive, see if I can match it up with anything else.
Okay, that's cool. I thought if it helps, but I'll let you get back to your rest, Nomu. Appreciate the chat.
Thanks, Ron. I might go prepare some dinner soon as you start wandering off. If you're hungry,
Yes. Oh, sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say, if you're hungry, I might start preparing some dinner soon. I know where the supplies are, and the fire's already running. We should get some food and have a bit of a chance. I always find a nice warm meal and a good drink at the end of a day can help push troubles further away.
That's the case. If you do the food, I'll put the kettle on. And Rung goes to get the kettle ready, or boil a pot of water, or whatever you can do to make tea.
Yeah, fantastic. Shurva, what you be doing? You're muted, sorry, Bree.
I'm looking through stuff.
Rookie.
Mako, because he's like throwing shit everywhere. Do I help?
You can help him out with this? Yeah, of course.
Like, help is like not...
Mechanically,
it's not what you would think it to be.
Do you want to also roll and assess the situation?
I'll also just do that.
As you come in and try and like take over, essentially.
Yeah, because he's fucking stupid.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's fair.
Oh, cool! I rolled a 3.
Shurva, you walk in.
Also
there's shit everywhere.
stupid.
There's just like Mako. As you walk into the first tent, Marco's walking out. Mako, you look at her. You're like, there's nothing in there, and you just keep walking past her to the next tent. Shurva, as you look in, Marco's made such a mess, and like as you start kicking stuff aside to look through it, you like kick some stuff out the door. There's stuff everywhere. You're like pushing it aside with your whip, just like knocking stuff aside, throwing it out the door. As you go through it, more shit begins to fly out the tent flap where Shurva had just walked in. As Mako goes into the next tent and begins tearing it apart, more stuff starts flying out the tent flaps as you just begin slowly demolishing the guiding wind camp at the top of the tree.
This is very fitting because I'm more upset about everything that just happened than probably focused.
There's a point, Mako, where you stop even caring about what you're looking for, and it becomes less about searching and more about like fuck this, fuck these people's shit, fuck this shit. As you kick a pot out the tent flap, you see like there's a pillow that someone's like worked really hard to embroider and made out of silk. You like look at the pillow and you go, ha, burn it immediately, chuck it off the side. Just fuck these people. Just angry, hateful, spiteful things, destroying their stuff because they're not here and you can't get back at them. I'd say that you could probably remove troubled with this as well. As you just destroy, as you get to paper, you're like, burn the paper in your hand and destroy it. Like, fuck all this shit.
Oh yeah,
everything's just terrible.
Seeing him act like this.
Yeah, petulant and...
I try to guide and comfort him. Like, just I stopped looking for whatever like he was looking for. I'm like, he's not good.
It's like to the point where like if this wasn't on a sacred tree, I would have burnt the tents down.
Your self-control just is keeping
like
that.
It's just like I don't want to get attacked by vines. Yeah.
Every time you go to like create fire in your hand, there's this image, Mako, of vines reaching up below you, grabbing you and pulling you down that kind of make it hard to justify letting the fire spread any more than a tiny little candle flame. Alrighty.
My guide and comfort.
Shurva, 7 for guide and comfort. So it is a hit. It's up to you, Mako. Do you want to embrace Shurva's guiding? Actually, no. Shurva, would you like to tell us what your guide and comfort is, and then Mako can decide whether or not he would embrace it or shut you down? I want to actually hear this. Let's go.
You doing all right?
Hey, Bucko.
You
Hey,
you seem kind of shitty.
Really? What gave it away?
Is that it?
We
Is
talk
that the
about
guided
Chip.
comp? Oh, okay. Thank God. There's more. Sorry, I went interrupt. Please carry on.
No, you want to talk about Champ? Seem a little insecure. Don't know what for. Oh, okay, I'm done.
I mean, look at you. Look at you.
Turning all
Podcast
these
listeners,
heads as you
Marco
like
isn't
storm
crying,
through that door.
He's actually just trying to not laugh. So the whimpers isn't actually tears. It's
Mako, it is up to you whether or not you have two options to pick from here. The first one is to embrace Shurva's guidance and comfort. The second is to shut her down.
I'm gonna embrace it.
You embrace the guidance and comfort. Okay,
Because,
fantastic.
like, yeah.
You can clear 2 fatigue and ask a question. Oh, sorry, no, you can clear 2 fatigue. Shurva, you ask a question. Mako, you have to answer this question honestly.
Oh no.
You can either clear
I should have
a condition
rejected.
or 2 fatigue. So like you can choose either, and then I can ask one question. It says I may, I want to.
Is there something you're gonna ask?
I don't really have any that I'm no.
You don't have to think of it
Nah.
now. We can come back to that later. That's fine.
I honestly can't think of anything that I need to know right now.
could ask him if he's worried about dying.
I was gonna be like,
The
what are you
spirit shit.
looking for? But I was
I
like,
mean,
that's
this
a
could be-
shit question.
This could be an option. This could be an opportunity to sort of have a bit of a go at finding out more about, because you're aware that, like, ever since you calmed the air spirit, you and Mako, something's been a bit different about both of you, and I don't think either of you have actually talked to each other about this really in any sort of detail.
No,
Maybe there's a
Arl and I have
chance.
spoken about it a little bit. I
Yeah.
don't think Marco's spoken to anyone.
No, Marco's not told anyone about this. This might be a good opportunity to sort of find out what's going on with Marco. If you wanted
Alright.
to, just letting you know your options.
Marco, buddy, or pal, friendo.
So-
This is dread. Yep, go.
What's down, diggity dog?
like we grew up together. Like you're used to this. Anyway, has anything weird been happening with you when like you're bending or anything? Because like I've had weird things happening with me where I'm like almost gaslighting myself into thinking I'm a bender, but I know that I'm not. So is that just me or is that like you too?
Like, weird as in, like, bending, or is it weird just in general? Because, like, weird that I just got chucked out of a giant tree to my near death, or, like, the fact that I've just got a new bending ability that I don't know.
That one. Yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about that one. Cool.
Yeah, I've been noticing when I'm like fighting, and I noticed it a lot in Kyoshi, that it's almost like I can manipulate the air more than I should be able to. Does that make sense?
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, no,
How?
it doesn't make sense.
No.
So like, when, how do I explain it? Can I just like show him instead?
Yeah.
Like, what would be the best way to do this? Because it was happening when I was sparring without any weapons, and then it's also tied to my new weapon.
Seems to be happening most with the fans. That's when you've noticed it. Yeah.
Sick. Let's use that combat move. I would like to hit Mako with a concussive blast, please.
Fantastic. Of course you can. Would you like to describe what happens to Mako?
Am I falling out of a tree again?
Yeah,
No.
possibly.
I don't think you'll go that far.
Well, let's see.
So I pull out my fans, and I'm like, I don't really know how to explain it, and then I sweep outwards, creating a sudden momentary blast of air, marking 1 fatigue to myself to push you backwards. Like, a decent distance. You're not falling off the tree, though. Like, I wouldn't go off the tree.
At this point, you're inside a tent. As Shurva throws you backwards, you collide with the canvas of the tent at the back of the tent and then fall forwards onto your face before slowly, like, pulling yourself up.
That's did Al teach you that? How did that?
Now, Al noticed it when I was sparring with the Kyoshi warriors, and he was spying on me like a little creep.
That's where he went. We just turned around and he was gone.
Yeah, he was sitting on the roof, I think. I saw like a glimmer of like bright yellow.
We really need to put a bell on him.
Yeah. But anyway, anything like that been happening to you?
Yeah, you like the thing I've been demonstrating, and like the lightning, like between sparks between my fingers.
But lightning's kind of what you were learning to do.
No,
already.
it wasn't. I remember how like when I touched the spirit fish, I had the blue flames. Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah. Whenever I try to
is.
reach the same place, which was kind of like peaceful harmony, to activate the blue flames, I now get this instead. Which
What does it do?
it zaps people, like it's lightning.
Like,
I can't shoot it out. I have to physically touch people to do it. I would show it to you, but I think it would use all my fatigue, so I'm not going to do that.
I could show you, but I have to kill you.
I did it to Rung, and it basically just freezes people up.
Huh. That's really good,
But
considering
yeah, like
you're a firebender who likes to stay away from people when fighting.
Yeah, look. Not everything works out well. Look, you're a person who's like meant to be close up, and you got a distance thing.
No, I have a really long whip. And I push them away and I hit them with my
It's
really
super long whip.
That's the very first time
Super
Shurva has
long whip.
acknowledged that her whip is long, that it's not a normal-sized whip. Just want that on record.
So like, yeah, I was working towards something. Sure, I was like intrigued by lightning, but that was through a different technique.
Yeah, what was that thing that you did
that
with
was
me
like-
in the north?
That was less of me being able to lightning bend, whereas it was like using someone else to. Would I know this?
Yeah, Mako,
I
you know
guess I
that
did
what
read
you
it,
did,
yeah.
what you did with Shurva was insanely dangerous.
Yeah.
Because lightning bending, normally what you do is you separate the yin and yang energy within you to create like energy, essentially, to create the negative space that allows for lightning to form. You aren't skilled enough or practiced enough to do that yet, so you tried to do it using someone else's energy, basically like the friction from the energy coming together, creating lightning. If you had not rolled well enough, there's a very high likelihood you would have actually hurt both you and Shurva, and if you were to attempt this again and it go very poorly, very badly injure one or both of you.
I like that you
insanely
chose to
dangerous
try
thing.
that on me, but you won't zap me because you might hurt yourself.
So look, looking back on it, I learned.
Mako
that.
didn't know at the time how dangerous this was. It's only in hindsight that he's realized.
Because remember when we went to the temple, I didn't actually take a scroll with me. I only had the time to look at it there because I was researching about lion turtles. So I just had like a
In which timeline?
in my timeline.
In the ones you remember. More importantly, the one you
Yeah.
remember. You don't have memories of this new one. The one
so,
you're
like,
in, you don't remember the history.
I didn't read the thing properly or fully. So now looking back on it, it's very dangerous. Yes, I am sorry. But it was something cool that I thought I might try out. But I have this instead of the blue flames, which was actually kind of awesome. But this is still pretty cool, I guess.
Mako, as you reflect back on the blue flames, you've been able to summon them once or twice in the past. you're not sure if you've lost it or if it's just something that you've not been able to do recently.
Oh, fuck.
And there is a difference there potentially. You don't know whether this is a thing that's gone forever. Yeah.
I think to me, I've tried to do it since then.
You've tried and failed once, and you were at that point. You were like, "Well, I can't do this anymore."
Yeah, no, because at that time I was very much
not
action.
harmonious, and yeah.
So yeah, I can't reach harmony properly, or I just can't do it anymore. But yeah, I got these abilities since I've talked to the air spirit. I don't know what it means. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know why we have these. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm going to die tomorrow.
Away after we appease the rest of the spirits, or if we just keep it the rest of our lives.
Who knows? Honestly, apparently, also this woman knew that we had these abilities. I don't know how they can tell.
That's actually a good point.
This is like, what is happening?
I wouldn't have known that I had any of that. The only person who knew was Al.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this is.
That helps with our lying. Except that Al's the one who, like, blabbermouths.
Tells it that, yeah.
As Al's flying back up. Hey, Legshay, did you know that, Shurva can do this?
I didn't know. Okay. Hang on a sec. You got abilities?
I just threw you again.
No, like, that, you got them from the spirit, but...
Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know why, but yeah.
Wait. When the spirit did its thing, you were playing the drums.
I was playing a singing bowl, which is very different to drums.
Well, I don't know where you were, mate.
I was dying, I think.
That was your heartbeat in your ears from fear.
Yeah, like I was dying. I was out of it.
I was doing these ones.
Who touched the spirit? Did anyone touch the spirit?
Aquila was standing up, and he was the one trying to, like, appease it with his bend.
Yeah.
Thing.
So he did spirit bending from afar. The two of you were the ones who were appeasing it. The spirit bending is more of a way of calming it so that you could then appease it.
I'll play my bowl.
Then who did Al appease the... He appeased the
water.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so hear me out. We are the people who appease all the
we're just going to
spirits
appease the rest of them. We're just going to, like, no one else does this.
Let's leave these losers behind and just,
Corner the market.
Are you actually having this conversation right now?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my god. Fire Nation, man. There's this. We've been gifted these incredible talents by a spirit. Let's get them all.
We're playing Pokemon now. This is now Pokemon. But...
we're totally kidding. Though.
How did... So what did you get? Like, if I got lightning, which is considered an offshoot for fire, and Al got weather control, which is very much airbending, what did you get?
Do you want me to show you again?
No. Like, you got...
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just some kind of, like, I don't know, because I can manipulate my body. I can now manipulate the air around my body in some way. Like, I don't really
Does it work with anything else? Have you, like...
The fan?
Done it?
Well, Al and I were gonna, like... I don't know, he wanted me to, like, meditate on it or something.
No, don't do that.
I haven't.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like if I try to get him to train me anything to, like, see if it is airbending, that he's going to make me meditate. So I've kind of been just avoiding that a little bit. And we've been really busy, so I couldn't possibly meditate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, meditating sucks.
Have you guys ever seen Al sit down and meditate?
Actually, you did meditate at least once.
Yes, yeah, you've done it once or twice, yeah.
In the air temple, I'm pretty sure.
He meditated once, like, really, really early on.
Yeah, he meditated really early on when we were all, like, doing something.
But we've broken
I think he was showing face to the elders, but yeah, go on.
That's exactly right.
I think he did it in the cultural hub of the desert.
Oh, Jesus.
I think so.
Cultural hub in the desert so long.
Yeah.
He just went to bed. Pretty sure he just went to bed.
I think you went to bed, but like you were like meditating to begin with, and then you just fell asleep. I think that's what.
You
happened.
definitely meditated at the air
on his
temple.
back.
Yeah, but that was with the endomeds.
That was that was.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Al doesn't give two shits about his heritage. He's like,
No.
nah.
So wait,
just
if
stays
we
when he
get
needs
these from
to.
the spirits, what do you think the other two would get if they appease them?
I really, really hope that Rung gets some kind of like molten lava.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, like melty rocks.
That would be so cool.
That'd be such a great idea.
Yeah, imagine. Also, like, are we going to talk about the fact that we went
My
to the
ears are
spirit
burning
world?
right now.
Like, what the hell was that?
Wait, what?
The fact that we went to the spirit world?
Yeah, that still feels like a fever dream.
Like, we saw like Roku, and like there was what is everything that's happening to us? It's on me, I know, but like,
Yeah, you kind of dragged us into all this. Like, I could be at home
don't worry anything
Like-
about
sparring.
3 days.
training.
I'm gonna die anyway, so you can just leave.
Actually, how close are we to that? Is it nighttime outside yet?
As you look up at the sky, Arl is just returning, and indeed the moon is just beginning to shine overhead.
And
You
it
just
is-
hear Al's Lakeshade being like, Sister Lakeshade, we should meditate on the day's events.
That's not all. Who
while
is
eating
that?
cabbage.
He's been replaced. As you look up at the sky, it is indeed a waxing moon. It is just over half full.
Shit.
Well,
Remind
just
me.
over halfway.
How
Just
how
over a
long
week.
did we have? It was until next.
Just over a week.
It's not the one after this one, is it? By any chance? Like,
Just
do we actually know what's gonna happen?
No, we don't. I think that's scarier, right? Like, I could
trying to
die,
avoid
the world
finding
could
out.
implode, the spirit world and the normal world like combine to make some massive mess. Or my father could just die again.
Eh,
Like, it's an unknown.
it's kind of a dick. Was he worth all of this?
Yes,
Be for real.
yes.
Fucking daddy's boy. Anyway, let's go get some grub.
As you guys walk back
Go
over,
to
you can
campfire.
see Seng and Nomu have made almost what looks to be a hearty stew, almost like a minestrone stew that they've prepared. But rather than with pasta, it's with these very long, flat noodles that they've cooked up and almost like stir-fried in a pan before adding to the pot right afterwards. This very like spicy vegetable noodle soup. And as you begin digging in and sitting down and eating, it is delicious. It is like very good hearty fare that warms you from the inside out. As the night begins to set and the cold chill begins to lie across the swamp, the soup and the fire and the conversation keeps you warm. It doesn't seem like Seng, Nomu, or Mazon want to talk about their time being imprisoned very much at all. Instead, they move to lighter topics. Mazon commenting very critically on the swamp and the failings of the other nations and where they're not doing a great job, essentially. Nomu very tactfully sort of nodding, being like, I could see that perspective, yes. And really not getting too involved. Very diplomatic. Seng kind of like just sitting there eating his soup, occasionally looking over at you guys and back at Mazon, and then looking back and being like, wonder if I should take the bison. Could take the bison out tonight, maybe, Nomu, if you wanted to. Oh, no, we couldn't fly at night. We should probably stay the night. Seng being like, oh, okay. As he looks towards Mazon, who's talking quite loudly again. Aquila, at this point, has been helping out, creating the stew, using his waterbending to help keep it moving in the pot, because the utensils for stirring, no one can find them when they go to the
So he
tents
can
where they've
stew
been
bend?
kept. He can stew bend. Where they'd gone when they go to the tent to find all of the cooking utensils, the tent's been ransacked and stuff's been thrown over the side of the branch. No one knows really what happened. Rung, it does look very much like one of the tents Mako and and Shurva went in too to look for stuff, but for some reason all the spoons and cooking utensils are gone, and they've all just been thrown over the edge, just disappearing.
Can I just look out on the branch? Do I just see like utensils hanging in the tree branches?
No, they're gone.
Like-
They're gone. They've fallen off the side. They're gone. They're down in the swamp water below, claimed once again by the leeches, probably.
We would
As I'm
have
just,
stuff
like,
in our
trying
packs
to-
though.
Yes.
Like, did
so,
we just
like,
say
so-
fuck you and not bring out our own utensils that are all in our packs?
Oh yeah, no, you can do that. That's absolutely fine. But this is like while you've been looking around, Aquila didn't have his own utensils, so he's been stew bending to keep the liquid moving and the stew moving. So he's been helping out in that regard. He's also been helping to purify some of the water as well, using his water bending to pull the water up in the air and pull some of the mud and gross bits out of it to then boil. Because like if you boil water that's got like particulate dirt in it, that dirt doesn't go anywhere. It's not like boiling it magically removes that dirt; it just kills all the bacteria. So he's still having to, like he's cleaning the water to then boil it. So as you guys come back,
so much more helpful when he's not actually here.
yeah, as you guys come back, Aquila's like, yeah, just wanted to let you know that I've done lots of really helpful stuff. Yeah, I've been really helpful, and I've done lots of water bending, good water bending. Yeah.
I also assume he filled up his hidden bottles.
No, Aquila has forgotten to do that because that is something he would forget to do.
Yep, cool.
Do you mention that to him?
Move my camera.
Do you tell him? Do you mention it?
No, because I don't know that he has to refill them.
Okay, fair.
I just assume that the water just goes out and he brings it back in.
Fair. Okay. No.
In chat, Aquila said can confirm, as in can confirm he would have forgotten.
Perfect. Great. Then I don't need to be worried about it at all. Then has he sent me a new picture?
No.
I'm not using that. We can't see your face in it. Like he sent me a picture of him like lazing on the grass with like glasses on, looking thoughtful. No. We need to see your face. That doesn't count. You're looking away from the camera. Try again, Archie.
He just told me to watch it in the group chat.
That's what you get. Sounds like you've got a lot of energy, mate.
He's got threats going out left, right, and center.
Yeah. Unless there's anything you guys wanted to do during the night, we can all have you benefit from a rest. You are sleeping indoors. Rough. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to Sister Leche about Brother Pion.
Absolutely. As you guys are all sitting around the fire, Mazon finishes up discussing the failures of the Earth Kingdom monarchy and why it's like hopeless, basically. That's why the whole monarchy of the Earth Kingdom is all corrupted at this point. You need to rule with an iron fist, not through committees. There's this sort of like brief pause.
It's not entirely wrong. It is pretty corrupt.
Exactly. See, even the apolitical air nomads can see that there's a problem. You know you've done a terrible job governing when the air nomads have a criticism of the government.
But
do you even have a government?
You need a little bit of corruption from time to time to grease the wheels. A dictatorship, you can't get anything done with a dictatorship. What if it's wrong? But you need all the people in their spots to do their thing, and then sometimes you need to do their thing really well. Gotta give him a little bit of.
Son, I'm pretty sure it's the opposite of what you just said. If you want things done, a dictator's the easiest, quickest way to get it done.
You just described a dictatorship.
You just described the best type of dictatorship.
Dictatorship. Sometimes I don't do what the people want to happen. It makes it easier, but then things can go bad because it's just one person a decision. But when you have a bunch of people making decisions, things take a lot longer. But that can be good because you make sure the things that take longer are done well. If you want them done really well and much faster, you gotta just put a little bit of corn in their pocket, and that's why we have such a thriving economy. So I think you guys could actually learn a little bit of something from a little bit of well-placed corruption.
There's this
Take
pause.
it back, he shouldn't be a lava bender.
Yeah.
Wasn't like the queen, and like, isn't he of a position of power which he didn't earn and kind of was just appointed to?
What's
That
this?
doesn't really seem like a. I was talking to Rung.
Oh, Pong. Oh, no.
Pong.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
that-
like the queen's son, right?
Yeah, well, it's not always
Nephew?
perfect,
Or like something? It was
unfortunately.
something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so typical of the
Definitely
Earth Kingdom to
something.
think corruption is like good.
Well, it's a necessary evil, you see. You know, if you just have a
No,
dictatorship,
no,
you know,
no,
things
it's
go
not.
poorly very quickly. But well, it's like
Look how
if it's like-
well we survive
Thank you.
as Fire Nation. How
say if
powerful
you
we
knew
are.
the
I
person
mean,
in a
I
spot
wouldn't
that
be
could help
surprised
your
if there's
business,
corruption in there as well.
Don't use
sometimes
me
you
as a basis,
have
though.
to help
I'm
them
not a
to
good
help
basis.
you. It makes sense.
Anyway,
Who's this punk? Who's this
like
punk
Shay.
you're talking about? Who's this punk? Who are they? Earth
Oh, it's
Kingdom
just the
royalty.
guy we
Told.
met who seemed a bit
Pressed.
incompetent.
Definitely Earth Kingdom
Um,
royalty then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember.
No,
Was he
not all good.
a nephew?
I think it was the nephew, the
I
queen's
think it was a
or
nephew,
something.
right?
Yeah.
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 That seems right.
But he's alive, so that's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is he?
He shouldn't be in power.
This
but he's
is
alive.
my timeline getting confused now. He is alive.
He is alive in this timeline, yes.
Yeah. Well,
in the
I mean,
old
he was
timeline,
alive in
we
the other
left him
timeline,
dead.
wasn't he?
No, he got
Oh,
We left him
you
for
guys
dead with
told
the
me-
sandworm?
he
guys
he
told
went
me
for
he
a
was
ride with a
fine.
sandworm. He might be he probably lived, but he just wasn't anywhere near other people.
Oh, you guys told me that he was fine at the time.
Yep.
Anyway, but he's all right now. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot we didn't tell him.
That was
Oh.
me. That was more me being like, I don't know what timeline happened. I don't know which timeline this is.
Yeah.
now we're
Which
in the
canon
now.
event happened?
Like,
What's happening on the screen?
Don't worry about that. I'm just putting Archie's new picture up.
Al doesn't really think that we're good people at this point
Yeah,
anyway.
don't worry about that.
Sweaters.
Don't worry about that. This is his new picture that he insisted on. It's now up. Enjoy.
Looks like a giant kaiju.
That's a good
Just
picture,
Yeah.
though. I won't lie. That's a good
Is that
picture.
a morph suit? Oh my
He's in a
God.
green morph suit on a green background. This is what he wanted.
Wait, is that when he had that green cake as
Yep,
well?
there was when he had
Yeah.
the green cake.
That was great.
I don't know what to say, guys. This is what he wants. Carry on.
What was
Can't pay attention now.
Did he actually get put in a position of government?
Yeah, remember someone saying that he made it back to the capital
right.
and was like, and then the queen was happy and appointed him a
He
position of power.
was in charge of the. I want to say military. I feel like that was a conversation that
Military
we had.
police?
Yeah.
You know that he was given charge over military police is not too far off.
Oh no.
The Daily.
Dilate. God, no.
He's just but he's just a shadow. He's not in charge. He's not in charge then. He's just a shadow. Like he's just a
Yeah.
figurehead.
What do you mean, Rung? This is what you wanted. You said a bit of corruption is a good
Public.
thing.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of corruption is okay. Sometimes it gets a little bit too over the top there, and you have to corrupt someone else to get rid of that corruption. Corruption cures corruption. So,
No.
Corruption
It just
breeds
seems
breeds
like-
corruption.
So if you have some impure coal, you should put more impure coal with it.
well, it doesn't work for
Impure?
everything. No, coal's
And that,
different
like, fixes
to
it?
corruption.
Does that fix the impure
No,
coal?
you want to remove the impurities of coal. No.
Okay,
But
so we
that-
removed
so-
the
so
corruption
so
from the
governments
government.
aren't.
If you do have impurities in government, you should clear out that impurities by like paying someone else to get into that position and like usurp them is usually the way to go.
Do you know what I'm
Sometimes
hearing?
you can't get rid
I'm
of it.
hearing
Kill the
that
mudbloods.
the
You're
Earthbender knows a lot about
replacing-
earthbending and not a lot about anything else.
Yeah. That's about right.
I think you just don't understand our ways.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's why I was whinging about them.
Yeah.
We
We don't understand and we also don't agree with.
Legshay coughs because
Thank you, Mazon. Al, you were going to say something before I noticed you were.
Oh yeah. When you were, held in a cage, prison, did Brother Pion reveal much, or because he's a bit of an odd fella in this, isn't he? He was like an underling to your sister, but also had a bit of a conscience, but also just ran away and is probably up to more nefarious things. Like, what's your read on the whole situation?
I don't know what to think about Pion. I thought I knew him. We'd been traveling together for some time. He'd spoken very kindly about the Guiding Wind, which did initially raise my suspicions a little bit that he might be involved in some capacity, but I could see that he was a troubled soul, that he had a lot of conflict within him about the decisions he was making and about the path he was walking under Leshar's guidance. You have to understand, my sister, Leshar, she was very persuasive, very charismatic, able to manipulate things and people in ways that she wanted. She was always very good at that, and Pion seemed enamored with her. I'm not sure if there was some deeper connection he felt with her, but he listened to her and followed what she said very closely, even when he didn't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah, it
Please,
sounds like he
Bree.
was a bit of his bitch. What? Where do you think he would have gone now? Like, do you have any theories of where he would have gone with? I imagine he took the remaining pieces of the stone. Like,
Yes, quite possibly. That was my theory after coming back and finding the larger section gone. He was privy to a number of her plans and schemes. He would have known a large part of what she wanted, what her goals were, and again, I must stress, Leshar is not the leader of the Guiding Wind. She is important amongst their ranks. She holds a lot of influence and power, but she is not the leader. There is no leader per se of the Guiding Winds at any one time. There are teachers, scholars, masters, they're referred to, who have positions of authority and influence within the organization. How many there are, I don't know. There could be a number. I know that she was not alone. She spoke deferentially about at least 2 others. One in the Western Air Temple. And
did you
another
get a
one.
name?
No, she'd never mentioned the name, unfortunately. She simply called them masters.
Brother Sang, do you know who any leaders of the Guiding Wind in the Western Air Temple?
I didn't even know there were Guiding Wind in the Western Air Temple until they took me prisoner. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be a huge amount of help here. Like, there's a couple of...
Yeah, you could have just said no. It's okay.
No. And then just sits and his head slowly bows.
That's all right. You'll be more careful now, though. I think they're everywhere. This is still like shade.
I thought when you said you'll be more careful now, it's like you'll be more careful about answering my questions with dumbass comments. I thought that's what you were saying for a second. I was like, wow, what's going on with Al?
About it all in my life.
Talk shit.
Goodness.
It's all right. You don't know what you don't know. That's not a problem. That's fine. Sister like Shay.
Yes.
Sister Sun said that she was with you and you received a letter and you very quickly headed out this direction.
Yes.
What was that letter? Who told you about what was going on? Or was it a trap? And
Yeah,
why would you come alone? Why would you not tell anyone?
It was a letter from Pion saying that he believed my sister was in danger, that she had gotten in over her head, that she was involved in events that were risking her life and the lives of those that she was with at the time. And I've known for a number of months my sister's involvement with the Guiding Wind. I didn't want to talk about it in case... I didn't know how involved she was. I knew she was involved a little bit. I didn't know she was involved this much until she captured me. I thought perhaps I could use this as an opportunity to get her out of the Guiding Wind, to go help her, get her to see that this organization was wrong for her, wrong for all the air nomads, and hopefully help bring her back to the Eastern Air Temple. But it turns out it was a trap. The note had been written by Pion and Leshar together, planned from the beginning to kidnap me. He seemed conflicted about it, using our friendship in that way and lying, but he still did it. He still did what she asked, always.
It sounds like they might have been a couple. No?
She nods once, slowly.
So he's like your brother-in-law.
We don't really do that in the air temples.
No, I know that. Sorry, I just spent too much time with other nations, but it's kind of like
Like
that.
us.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay.
That's all right, right? No, so all you just need is a bit more corruption to fix you here. Let's spend more time with other nations, and that'll fix you right up, Al.
That's right. He's gonna learn a lot more about
Bree, see how I know who your brother-in-laws are.
See how ridiculous you sound. Sorry.
Let me feel your palms. Oh, they feel very dry. I need to grease those bad boys up a little bit. Man.
Yeah, get some sandpaper quick. Let's fix that right up.
So gonna grease them.
Oh, I'm in crushing debt. Better take out a credit card loan. I love
collectors don't scare me.
I loved your argument. I loved your argument before, Brandon, that like outright, like you essentially gave the best argument for why dictators as a system of political rules works. I don't know if that was your plan, but you made dictators come out looking real good after that speech. Just so you know.
And dictators we trust.
Sometimes a dictatorship just doesn't work. Like you look at Russia, dictatorship like
sometimes most of the time.
Dictatorships fall apart.
Like a corrupted thing like that.
Like 99%
Russia has oligarchs, monopolies, and monopolies.
But Brandon, you know the reason why the Russian dictatorship isn't working is because of corruption, right? And it's like pissed off enough people.
Yeah, but that's corruption in a single party essentially. But when you go to one with like shared voting like that, then like you spread out the corruption a little bit like that, and each department handles their own corruption.
He's doubling down. I gave him an option to back off, and he's doubling down.
Yeah.
He gave him an option.
I'm not to say corruption is good, but corruption.
It's not even Rung anymore. It's just Brandon.
What's happening?
Is this what it's like to speak to a conspiracy theorist?
Bachelor of business and someone who spends a lot of time watching economics videos in their downtime.
Oh, yeah. Anyone involved in economics loves corruption, mate. That's how they get money. That's the fundamental of economics. That's just capitalism, mate.
Late stage capitalism's also bad. It's all bad. We need to just get rid of everything. Universal basic income will fix it.
That's what the Endermans did. We just got rid of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm radical.
I'm sorry.
Wait a couple of years and there'll be more than all.
I suspect, Al, you may be onto something. I think they might have been involved on a deeper level than a friendship, shall we say?
It's really sad. Well, I guess from here tomorrow morning you'll head back to the Eastern Air Temple with Sang and and Mr. Library. How are we gonna get Moose on home?
I have no idea. I think he has to come with us.
I mean, I thought we were going to go look for something in the Earth Nation, but I guess we can look.
We're not looking for anything in the Earth Nation.
I think.
Hang on. Who at this point, just out of game really quickly, just so I can refresh my memory, who doesn't know what you're going to
Aquila?
what you're going? Aquila doesn't know.
And I think
Oki.
Oki's not an option anymore.
I feel like either Rung or Al were not meant to know.
Yeah,
I
one of them definitely.
I think
Rung was there.
I know why we're going there.
Rung was there. This was the mole.
Did Shurva
I think Al knows.
But you told me by accident.
Yeah, I think it's only Aquila at this point.
I think so.
Yeah.
Aquila goes, he like literally confused, goes, hang on, weren't we coming? Al wasn't there. Al has found out afterwards.
Remember, he was there for the lantern, I think.
Yeah, Aquila was there for the lantern, but not there for the
and
conversation.
Aquila was, I was chatting to him out of game, like in Discord. He was like, he had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That's good.
So
Aquila goes like,
he's the only one left.
Weren't we going to the we were here to get Mr. Library. That's why we came to the station. Here he is. We got him.
I concur.
That's why we're sending him back.
We have to
I think we should definitely head to the Fire Nation. We're
gonna head to the Fire Nation now.
The Fire Nation spirit. Like
I don't want to go to the Fire Nation.
On our way.
We can just drop you back at the.
I don't want to go to the Fire Nation.
We can drop you up at the Northern Water Tribe first. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll drop you home.
No, I don't want to go back to the Northern Water Tribe either.
Well, what do you want, Aquila?
If it's a choice between the Northern Water Tribe and the Fire Nation, I guess the Fire Nation.
Awesome.
I mean, we can leave you
Anyway.
here at the swamp if you want.
I mean, preferably not at the top of the tree or with those filthy, stinking swamp benders.
What about with the leeches?
No, I that didn't go
They
well.
were your friends.
They weren't my friends. Not
They
my
gave you
real
a hug.
You
friends.
guys like stuck
Um,
each other.
They drank my
No,
blood.
so-
I need
Yeah, they
blood.
stuck to you a bit.
I think the plan is to go to the Fire Nation and then come back and touch base with Mako's dad near Ba Sing Se.
Yes.
Okay.
Ambassador Bao.
Yes.
He's not in Ba Sing Se.
What?
That's where
He
we
was
left
he
him.
was recalled. He was sent back.
What? Hey, wait,
Me and
hang on a
Ambassador
sec.
Boo.
Boo?
Ambassador Bao. He was sent.
Oh, that one.
He was sent back. He was recalled. Commander Zhao
really?
sent him back to the Fire Nation.
Ah, shit.
Who's there now? Who's the Ba Sing?
Commander Zhao.
Shit. Cool.
Okay, so we're going to the Fire Nation first, touch base with your dad there, and then we're going to go make sure that, and you know, and then we might just start dropping people home. So we'll come back to the Earth Nation, drop Rung somewhere near home, and like stop in Ba Sing Se on the way.
Yeah.
So your dad would still be in Ba Sing Se, like he had a little bit more corruption in your government. I was just saying, putting it out there, dictator calls him back.
Brendan. Zhao's power comes from the corruption of the system. Like
He is the most corrupt person that...
I can see the argument
He's
you're
trying
going
so
for,
hard to
but
get
it's
there.
so counter to what
So
you're
what
trying
happened-
to argue that it's
He-
not helping you.
he
You are
was
literally
going to
like walking
attack-
out into.
the embassy that we were all in, just that
Yeah.
the Daily did it first. And then he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll just make this a cover-up. Let's go.
And then-
good. So you guys adopted the ways of the Earth Kingdom, I see.
In the
Very
new
good.
timeline, didn't
He saved everyone. He saved
Hey.
everyone.
yeah, except you lot, and I was not there.
Yeah.
Still really confused what happened in that period. I could have like a husband and kids. I don't know.
It was only like 4 or 5 days that are unaccounted
You
for.
can have
Let's not get
husband
too
and
carried
kids. I
away.
mean, quick.
They could be
No,
adopted.
no,
I
but like
managed to
that's
find a lesbian lover halfway here. Like,
okay. But just like the kids bit is the bit I'm hung up on.
Adoption. Step
That's-
kids.
Yeah.
Change things.
I could have married a single dad.
Okay, yeah, true.
I could be a stepmom.
True.
Anyway, Shurva would not be a good mum.
No.
She would make a bad roll and have to abandon one of her kids.
Force push them
Holy
off
shit.
Which, by
That's
the way,
a-
I just succeeded on my ward roll this time, so don't worry. You good.
You're not going to be
Yes.
abandoned like her kids? Question
Yeah.
mark.
Also, do we want to try
Just
to
learn that. It's fun.
intercept Pion? Or is that just a lost cause at this point?
We don't know where he's going.
We don't know where
We
he
just
left
go to
him.
the air temple. We've already sort of
Which one?
We have 4.
western. Right?
Shit, did you?
You think
Or
he's
the-
heading to the Western Air Temple?
Or like
you
I
said
guess that
east.
would make sense. He won't be heading back to the east because that is.
Oh no,
where,
this is where we came.
Yes, he
from.
won't. I mean, I am sure that he'd be very foolish to head back to the east.
and
The
there was
Northern Air
a
Temple.
strong presence near the Western Air Temple of Guiding Wind, right?
Perhaps he has
Yeah,
headed to
good
the
point.
Western Air Temple. Then I can't imagine. Possibly he would head to the Southern Air Temple, but I can't imagine him heading to the Eastern and the Northern Air Temple. I mean,
They
we know
already
that.
know of him, right?
Yeah, brother Gyatso is already aware of the Guiding Wind and would be keeping an eye out for any presence of them in the Northern Air Temple.
Should we send message to the southern and all the air temples?
Yes, I think that is a good idea. Perhaps once I get back to the Eastern, I will send out some messenger hawks.
Did the Guiding Wind end up finding out anything from you about the potential identity of the next avatar?
Nomu pauses for a second, like his spoon to his mouth,
Shit.
and you watch as like the soup
Fuck.
slowly drips off his spoon, splashing into the bowl.
Cool. Cool.
They have a list
Do they?
of
It's
potential.
How big is the list?
Where was the list?
is
You
it
have to
this
understand
list?
this is as you pull open a list.
Yes, because I think I just stole a list, and I don't remember what that list was.
You stole.
I think I went.
It's not.
I
It's not
Fill
just
a
a single.
grocery list.
It's not a scroll. It's like, sorry. It is a scroll. It's a scroll. It's a scroll listing all of the births, names, and locations of everyone this year in the Air Nation. You just unfurl this massive long list.
That's that. Oh, did you take that from the library, young man?
No, I found it on the table over here.
Oh,
He looks closer.
oh dear. It looks like this group they'd already taken some of my notes as well. I didn't know they
did
had
you
this.
not know
I
that
wondered
they-
they were.
Did you not
I
know that
wonder
they
if they-
took stuff from the library?
Wait,
I
this
didn't know
is
that.
not the list that you were talking about.
No. I think they were cross-referencing what I was saying them with this list to make
Are there
sure I
any-
wasn't lying.
Are there any names
Oh,
crossed off
goodness.
on this list?
No names crossed off at all. You see him go white as a sheet. He goes,
That's how they knew. That's how they knew when I was setting them on false trails. Oh, I thought... Oh. The Shah said that she had some way of seeing truth and lies. I think this was it. Oh, she had me believing she could tell when I was telling the truth and when I was lying.
No,
Oh.
she probably could still.
Wow,
I
you're
won't
cool.
lie to you. She was scary.
Next
If you
question.
believe that, then she probably could.
How many names were left on?
You have to understand, they wanted
Did
a
they
list of all the
start
people...
at A?
Or did you start at like somewhere like M?
you watch as he sort of like pauses again.
Or
The
S?
list was
Star?
of... The list was of 14 children, all born on the same day, or within 24 hours of when Avatar Roku was reported to have died. I mean, we had to work backwards a little bit. News of his death took a couple of days to come out of the Fire Nation.
And he like looks over at the fire priest, who like looks back and goes,
What, Fire Lord Sozin took a while to tell us.
and there's this very awkward pause.
Nothing bad happened at all, right, guys?
Yes, well, but...
Why
we-
would he
we
take a while to tell you? He would have
we
known immediately.
Why would he have known immediately?
Oh, no.
Hey, Al, can I chat to you over here for a minute? I just grab him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sure thing.
I want to talk about this meditating business.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's a strange time to do it, but what would you like to know?
Yeah, you guys continue your conversation. We're over there now.
Oh, thank God.
Well, 14 children that we believe could be the next Avatar.
Did you have their You had their locations, obviously.
Rough locations, yes. A number of them were at temples already. Some of them were still traveling with their parents or with one of their parents.
Can you put guards and security details?
Yes, I believe that's what Sister Lekshay and I are planning to do as soon as we get back to the Eastern is get the word out. Yes, indeed.
Cool.
Are there any that are near us that we should?
Any in the Western?
Any in Omashu?
I believe that... I'm not sure about Omashu. I know there are some in the Western Air Temple. I believe there were 3 in the Western Air Temple. There were, I believe, 2 or 3 in the Southern Air Temple, 4 in the Northern, and then the Eastern, I think there were 3 as well? Yes.
That does make 14, yes. No.
That makes
I can't
the
math.
Right? He said,
I can't math.
3, 2, 4, 3, right?
Yeah.
West, south, north,
12,
east,
yeah, 12.
respectively, right?
Never eat soggy meat mix.
Well, Al's not there, so Al doesn't know this anyway.
No.
So the secret to
Heard
meditating.
that, Ben.
Yes. Yeah, there were 2 in the Southern, I believe, or 3 or 2 in the Southern.
Do you know if they had any in particular targets? If they were interested in anyone in particular?
No, you have to understand. It's only been a number of weeks, months since Avatar Roku's. No, weeks since Avatar Roku's death. It's been about a month since Avatar Roku's death. Yeah, it's only been a month. I mean, this baby is it's a brand new baby. There's no way to tell which one of them is the Avatar or not. Yeah.
So they just have to kidnap them all.
Oh, they wouldn't do that, would they?
Probably.
They kidnapped you, so like the bars down here, they're not going to go above it.
You
Well,
watch
they put
as
bars around people.
Mazon sort of like looks quite troubled and goes,
Unbelievable. I knew the Air Nation weren't prepared to care for the next Avatar. We need to make sure that these children are brought to the Fire Nation where they can be kept safe.
Didn't the last Avatar die in your area?
But that's ridiculous. That's a logical fallacy. He died in the Fire Nation. He was a member of the Fire Nation. He lived on a volcanic island. He died when that volcano erupted.
He really.
I mean, it's like saying like the Earth Nation
should have been
clearly
able
is
to
an
stop
unsafe
fire,
place
but
because all
just-
these Earthbenders die there. Ridiculous.
Imagine dying
Really
to the
funny
thing you
that
can
someone
bend.
can like bend every element.
Everything
It's
and they
like-
die. Yeah, not the point. Yeah.
He can fly, can't he?
Yeah.
pretty sure Aang did the same thing as a child.
what?
Stopped a volcano from destroying a town
Bree knows that, but you don't.
quite easily.
Yeah.
I
Wasn't
know,
there an,
it's just
wasn't there
really
an
funny.
avatar that like controlled volcanoes? I can't remember quite.
Or
He had a flying pet
anyway.
dragon.
Wasn't his pet, it was his spiritual animal. All avatars have one.
It's true. But anyway, I think for now, we just prioritize getting everyone back home, increase security. I don't know how we're going to help with any of this. We're probably going to make it worse somehow, but we're going to try.
Yes, we are teenagers.
Yeah, we are 12 years old.
I'm 16.
Yeah, we're all about 16.
I would appreciate at least if you can get me to the city of Omashu. I can catch a barge back over to the Fire Nation.
Oh,
If you're
we
not
can-
heading to the, if you're not heading there right now, if you could at least get me to civilization out of this damn swamp, I can make my own way back.
How long would that take? Like, how long would the barge take to get there?
A couple of days tops.
Oh, that was out of, sorry.
Oh. I mean,
A
couple of
it could
days
be
tops?
answered in
Couple
game.
days.
It's a good question to
Just so
answer
you know,
in
that
game.
wasn't
to be honest.
asked.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
now
okay.
we can drop him off, then just fly across and beat him.
Why do you want to do that?
I want to beat him.
Just
do
to
to
avoid
us?
the trouble.
Yeah.
You're so suspicious. I'm just curious. Like, what's
Really?
What's,
Me suspicious? No.
what's
Yeah,
the
I
fear?
don't-
What do you?
I don't have a million, like, things running in my head at all times. It's okay.
And you wonder why you can't access the blue flames anymore.
I miss having him as a ward purely because I could then like just know what he was
Figure
up
stuff
to at
out,
any
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Translate.
Well, no, that's fine. If you could get me to Omashu or another city, I can make my way back. Probably Omashu's the quickest. It's just up the coast from here, and it's the closest.
Yeah, we can
Okay, that sounds
definitely-
easy.
We can take you to Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Ba Sing Se.
I'm not there, remember?
Oh, we can
Oh,
take you to the
yeah.
corporate hub.
Ang's been joining in. You guys haven't gone too far. Ang's jumped back in again.
yeah, we can
Ang?
drop you off there.
Al's
Ang?
jumped back in a few times. You're muted, Dave. Al's jumped back in a
Yeah,
few
he's
times.
stuck in the ice for 100 years.
We're just talking about meditation on the side, but Alice is yelling across the branch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we're really good at this meditating thing, and neither of us are paying
Is-
attention to what we're actually trying to do.
The airbenders wouldn't have had alcohol, right?
What makes you say that? Why am I still
Yeah,
Mazon?
Like at
what
this
makes
camp.
What makes you say that? Sorry.
I'm just curious, like, because I know. No, wait, that was sorry. I'm confusing my things. It's been a while.
We did have a chat about whether or not the airbenders would
Yeah,
have
that's
They-
why I was like,
alcohol,
Do
and
they
we
have like a
decided-
mead,
yeah.
like a mulled wine or something?
would I?
Yeah, we had a bit of a talk about it, and we figured that probably the airbenders would have some form of alcoholic drink because there's Yeah, I think we decided that they did because I couldn't find anything
I think
like
getting
canon.
drunk and going to the point of excess with anything really, but alcohol is probably definitely frowned upon along the endomeds. But like, yeah, we definitely have it. It's just fermentation, right? So it's just like it's natural.
Oh, exactly right.
Yeah, I think we had like a conversation where we went around and tried to figure out what each nation would have.
Well, you've already found one Fire Nation alcoholic drink, the Fire Water.
Yeah. Pretty much anything
Fireball.
in the Fire Nation is some kind of spice, usually like the whiskeys and the hard liquors.
Yeah.
That we decided would be Fire Nation, and then
Yeah. Whereas the Earth
Airbenders were,
Kingdom's like your hearty ales and things like that.
Yeah.
Ales
And
and
then-
It
beers.
seems like beer,
Craft beer.
stout.
And I had a bit of
Like,
think about it, and
drink
I
like
decided the
dwarves.
Water Tribe, maybe one of the seaweeds that they harvest is like a ginger seaweed. So they have like an alcoholic ginger beer.
That'd be cool.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that'd
That's something warming.
Yeah, something hearty. and warm.
Airbenders make me think of like seltzers.
It's like gins.
Yeah.
Very botanical.
Yeah.
It's probably wines, actually.
It's probably like
Very fruity
I think
wines, fruit
I think
wines.
we
Rosé.
decided it was like a mulled wine or something like that.
Yeah,
when
like
we
fruit
talked
fruit
about it.
wine. So rather than using grapes, using like strawberries and things like that, fermenting strawberries and honey to make like a fruit wine.
it
What
just
are they
makes
called?
so good.
Melomels. Melomels are what they're called.
Can I just drink all this now, please?
It sounds
Like,
good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
A
damn.
melomel is a honey and fruit fermented drink, like a fruity mead essentially. They're called a melomel.
Mm.
I've already looked through the camp, so I didn't see any yet. Damn.
You smashed it if it was. Like, you
Yeah,
just
if
kicked
there
it off
was
the
any.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Library, is there any reason for us to keep this list now, or is it?
I think it's best if you give that to me, young one. I'll take that back to the archives and we'll store it away.
Is there any use for us to have it if we're going to travel around and try to find?
This list has all the names of all the children born in the last.
This is
year.
not okay. This is not.
This
the
isn't a
14.
short list.
Yeah. This
I
is a-
can do my best to try and remember the short list. I think I could probably do it.
If you could get the western and southern, that would be great. Because I'm pretty sure you're heading to the eastern, and the northern sort of is on lookout for the guiding wind
Yes.
anyway.
Yes, I think I can do my best to get you a list of the children at the Western Air Temple and at the Southern Air Temple. That shouldn't be too hard. I'll get to work on that immediately and see what I can remember.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Muzon.
Yes,
What's your opinion on-
Mazon. Let's get the
Mazon?
pronunciation
Come on,
right,
it's a cool
please.
name.
Sorry, Mazon. Mezzy, what's your opinion on
Mezzanine.
Fire Priest Mazon to you.
Okay, FP Mezzy, what's your opinion on Zishan, Phylod Sozin's sister?
I know who the
'Cause
bloody
I've been
princess
told
of the
that-
Fire Nation is.
No, I was giving her proper title. Sorry, so
Oh, but you won't give me mine.
I heard that she has ties with the Guiding Wind.
Not just ties, boy. She's a member of it. She forsook her royal duties, abandoned her princess-ship, and has become a member of the Guiding Wind.
So she's
That was a number of years
frowned
ago.
upon amongst the Air Nation people.
I wouldn't say the Air Nation. I don't know. Air Nation.
Fire
He
Nation
looks at
people.
me.
I meant Fire Nation. Sorry, it's been a long day.
I mean, some people think that what she did was traitorous and foolish. Most of the fire priests, I don't think we really care, to be honest.
Okay.
As I said,
what's your
our duties to the
opinion
Avatar.
If she has something to do with this, then that makes her your enemy as well, right?
Oh, if she's involved with trying to kidnap the next Avatar, yes, of course, that's the fire priests would have no part in that.
Okay, cool. Just checking in. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, cool. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's all from me.
Cool. Any other questions from any of you for any of the NPCs?
I'm meditating.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to roll me with Harmony just to see how well you're doing?
Will Lake Shay and
Five.
I'll join her.
Not well.
You can if you want to. As you sit
I'll
there,
join.
Shurva, you're struggling, man.
Yeah, I'm listening to all them talking instead of actually like focusing my inner peace.
I mean, they're not being quiet at all. Probably you could have moved further away, but you've already sat down and got your legs crossed. It's a lot of effort to stand back up again.
How?
No, it is a lot of effort to stand up.
It's a lot of effort to stand back up
okay.
again. I'm being your
am
subconscious. This is your subconscious.
I am a very limber, very fit Fire Nation warrior.
Also a very tuckered out Fire Nation warrior.
I
who almost
remember
died.
those days of being fit.
Yeah.
I still hate standing up.
That is a lot of fatigue happening there.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
After an hour or so, after you've had a chance to have some fresh water, have a tea that's served, Mazon goes to bed, takes one of the tents. Wake me up if you're leaving. I don't want to be left behind at the top of this fucking tree. As he goes off. Seng disappears into the larger tent and emerges with a bundle of what looks to be some sort of like wrapped package. And as soon as Mazon's left, he pulls it open and goes around and goes, I didn't want to share this with the grumpy fire priest, but we've actually I saw them. They had some supplies. Oh, have you ever had this cheese before? You fry it in a pan. It's really nice. It goes all like a little bit squeaky and it gets all caramelized. I know the Guardian Wind had some. I thought I'd cook it up now and serve it as a little after dinner treat. Anyone who wants to try it? It's really nice. Yeah, Arl's hands straight up. Yeah. Basically, this is the Airbender equivalent. It's like what was that?
Saganaki.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yes.
did we agree that they weren't vegan? They were like
They're vegetarian. Vegetarian. So it's literally just buffalo saganaki made from sky bison milk. It is amazing. It's like really caramelized on the outside with this really like delicious, crunchy, caramelized outer texture, and then the inside of the cheese is hot and a little bit runny, but still has a bit of like bite to it. It's really good. Anyone who tries it. Nomu emerges back while you guys are enjoying the cheese. So go, oh, is that the saganaki? Oh, yes, please. He digs in. Oh, I have that list for you. Did you want those list of names? I think they're all correct.
Yes.
Right, well, for the Western Air Temple, Yang, Namgal, and Lilu. And for the Southern, it was Mio and Aang.
Miu and who?
Aang.
Weird name.
Is that like
What was the first ones at the Western?
Actually, sorry, I should say Aang. I don't know why I said
Yeah.
Aang.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because
Yeah,
you've
why
been
did-
watching that horrible M. Night Shyamalan
No,
movie.
don't talk about it. It's no why. It's because
I
I've
thought
got
you were,
such
like,
a thing about
playing
not
on
saying
it.
it that way, and now unfortunately, like it makes me say it because I'm
So
like,
what
don't
was the
say it,
first
don't say
three?
it, don't say it.
I thought you were
Aang.
like meta.
There
I'll give you
was
the list. I'll give you the
Lilu.
list.
Aang.
Lilu, Yang, Namgal, Lilu, and then Mio and Aang. God,
I wonder who
I
it could be.
it's because I'm trying so hard not to say it that I'm now saying it by accident.
I-
It's
I-
like,
No,
don't
I
say
mean,
it, don't say it,
I
don't
can
say it.
imagine he's reading
The
from a list.
mystery.
He's just pronouncing it wrong.
You know, Aang. Oh, Aang, sorry, Aang.
Lilu and what?
Lilu, I'll post it in chat for you guys. So you got a copy of it.
You got
I
Yang
think it's
Lilu.
Lulu.
You can- it's in chat.
Lulu sounds like a
And
powerful
Aang.
avatar name.
It was like Dang.
Avatar.
Namgal.
Yeah, it was
Yeah. Please enjoy.
Lilu, Lilu.
Oh no, please, for
Yeah,
the love
that's her
of
thing. She
God.
flies in, save the day.
Ah.
Namgyal. Got it.
What's Aang gonna be like? Aang. Yeah. Can't help people with a name like Aang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, 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 yang.
Yang, yang,
yes,
yang,
they're
yang.
They're the five.
Yang.
Okay.
Oh my! I was so off.
Oh, I'm trying to
The
spell the
spelling.
name.
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
I take Mako aside briefly?
Yeah.
Hey, come me over here a second.
Oh, what's up? Have you tried this
Do
cheese?
you-
It's real good.
Do you remember anything about the fire spirit? Like where we were supposed to find it, how we find it? Because you were the one who was
That
reading
was- that was my
scroll
tomorrow's
in the
mission.
library.
That was my tomorrow's mission. I know that there was a sighting of one somewhere. I think it was. Oh, this is a long time ago. Like it was just like the other week. I should really remember it.
Excuse me, Mr. GM. Is there anything that he is maybe forgetting?
There was because they've all been like a lot of them have been hunted.
So the
So
dragon
it's
dragon
dragon.
hunting has only just started.
Oh, it only just started.
It's
That's
because
over.
it
Only
was
just
Sozin. I think it was Sozin, not just started, but sorry, I think it was Sozin who was the one who actually started it. Yeah, Fire Lord Sozin orchestrated the first dragon hunts early in his reign. Only a few dragons were killed at first, and then it sort of escalated rapidly. It sort of happened, like the worst part of it was happening while Aang was frozen, I think.
Okay, so
So we're not into the worst of it yet.
I do recall that there was a sighting somewhere. For me, it's been a while.
I just remember we were
But that
in
was also
the different library. We were in the library. Was it the Eastern Air Temple library that everyone was looking into different spirits and stuff? And I was just really bored and like twiddling my thumbs.
I was also just going to ask the priest tomorrow on the flight. But that's that.
But if he asks why, are we going to tell him the whole fucking story?
We're just going to push him off the flying bison and see what happens. That's a joke. That's a joke. No, we'll just ask why. We'll just be like, I'm just really interested.
Can I
Just
assess
come
the
across.
situation?
I know.
Yeah, of course you can. What are you assessing?
If that was a lie or not.
I got a 10.
If I really will push him off the mango.
With my 10, can I please ask, what might Andrew be forgetting? Is there any additional information you can provide us about where we can find the fire spirit?
If Andrew can't answer this question, then
You
Marco-
can't remember though.
That's
I
a real
can't
shame for
remember
Marco.
what I ate for dinner yesterday.
That's
Come on, help us out. I got a good roll.
that seems like something Marco would have forgotten then.
Marco's smarter than me. And the just.
Yeah.
You would remember that I will give you a little bit. You would remember that the fire spirit is in the form of a dragon.
It was near the volcano, right?
Yeah, we know that.
And you know that it had been sighted not too far from the volcano
Yeah. Okay.
and around some of the smaller volcanic islands to the
Okay.
north of the Fire Nation.
So that's what we need. With my other question, can I please ask how trustworthy is good old Mazzo?
What was it? Sorry, can you ask?
How trustworthy is Mazzy?
He's lit. He's
From what you've seen, Shurva, and what you know about the Fire Priest, so there is some things that you would know about the Fire Priest from your time in the Fire Nation, from your upbringing. You know that they, at this point in history, serve the Avatar. They cater to the spiritual needs of the Fire Nation. Over the past few decades, under Sozin's leadership, Fire Priest numbers have dwindled. A lot less people are seeing it as this really esteemed role that you can play in society, and it's kind of being heralded as a bit antiquated and a thing of the past. The Fire Priests were and continue to be very, very cross and very angry with the dragon hunts. You know that they are absolutely opposed to the hunting of the dragons, but they have not been successful in dissuading Fire Lord Sozin from continuing it. In fact, it's been growing in popularity over the past few years, hunting dragons, and the bestowing of the title of dragon for someone who kills one still is alive and well, unfortunately. The Fire Priest Mazon seems very typical of the other Fire Priests that you've interacted with. Quite gruff, quite brusque at times, but he doesn't seem to be untrustworthy in terms of, like, you don't get the sense there's an ulterior motive. He just wants to get back to the Fire Nation. He just wants to get back home. The information he's learning at the moment, of course he's going to tell the rest of the Fire Priests. Anything involving the Avatar, he's 100% going to share with the other Fire Priests instantly. You get the sense that he's also pretty concerned about the fact that a bunch of air nomads kidnapped him and brought him across the world to this swamp. He's not a big fan of that, and he's going to do everything in his power to prevent that ever happening again. Like, that's going to be communicated back to the Fire Nation that that's happened.
Little push.
Seems fair.
Let me put it that way.
Just a little
Fair
push.
enough. Yeah, okay. I'm still talking to like Mako here.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want him to know about everything else going on.
Yeah.
Even if like they might be able to help us find where the spirit
Remember,
is.
we just figured out where the spirits are. It's fine. We just figured out. We just gotta go north. Just gotta go north, right?
Yeah, but like they could have potentially helped us find like pinpoint it a bit better. But I feel like
That's
I don't want
him. What if it's other people?
like who.
Like everyone else, other fire. Jesus. Sorry, brain. You can see it. Oh my god.
I think I just watched you short circuit.
I'm watching Andrew have a stroke.
My brain hurts
It's
just
gone
watching.
now.
God.
It's gone. Accept it.
Just move
It'll
on.
come back
It's not
when you
coming
least
back. It's
expect it.
gone. Yeah, you can't force it.
Okay, cool. If we just
That's
do
what
what he
she-
says and drop him off, we can get over there before he does.
Mm-hmm.
So
And do what?
they won't know about what happened here. They won't have any. They won't be high strung. They won't be on guard. They won't be everything else as he is. They will be more accepting.
So you're thinking we
By
try
this-
to get to the other priests before they know about what's going on and try to get some information out of them when they don't know what it's related to?
Yes.
I feel like they would still be a little bit high strung
They
knowing
will
that
be
one of their
high
priests
strung.
is missing.
Yes, but they won't be as high strung as if he was just dropped off and was like, "Hey guys, you know these people are kidnapping other people and like they want to get the avatar."
They found the
And-
Avatar babies.
Yeah, and like they're looking into spirits. Yeah, no.
Okay. I like it. I like that
Wow,
plan.
really?
Meanwhile, you're looking
Surprisingly,
at
yeah.
Al is like telling him everything.
But yeah,
So
Al's
these are the
telling
names
them
of the
about
5
this
next
story he heard
avatars.
from us. He's telling him all about this story that he heard on Ember Island of us talking to the director.
Yes.
oh, that's gonna come
Can
back
I
and bite
can
us
I
in the
just
butt, isn't
say
it?
the Ember Island situation
Is
has not
good
gone
for us.
anywhere. Like that,
Yeah,
I am
it's
just
still resolved.
waiting for that when you guys get to see what the Ember Island players have come up with based on your story that you
Oh,
told
I'm
us.
gonna-
So good.
I regret
you-
nothing.
You made a really good point about making Pung the bad guy of it and making him incompetent and useless and
But
General
that was-
Zhao the hero. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember that we were very
We were very patriotic.
yeah, that's
Very
the word I'm
patriotic.
looking for.
That's a
Mostly
word for
because
it.
we just really, really hated Punk.
Yeah. He was still in the
real
rage
thing. That was
portion.
like we just hated Pong.
We
Yeah.
just wanted to make Pung look like the worst, most incompetent person ever.
Simpler
the-
times.
I don't want to give too much away, but you won't have to wait long before you get to see what the effects of that are. Don't worry.
Oh, isn't
It's not far away.
aren't the Ember Islands up north? Wait, I don't.
You don't have to go to the Ember Island. Remember, they're traveling at the moment. They're doing their world tour.
No,
Yeah,
don't tell me
that's-
that. No,
That's why they're
no,
in Ibasing Say.
They're not.
Oh
God damn.
yeah.
They're traveling at the moment, the Ember Island players. They told you they'd be traveling for the remainder of the season.
They're going to be in the
Anyway.
stockades of Barcelona.
Is that all?
Moment's notice.
Trevor, like, do you need anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of gauge where we're at.
Cool. I have no idea what the others are up to. I'm gonna go now. Cool.
Bye.
I'm
go.
gonna just go find a quiet place and drink.
Okay. How much are you drinking?
I'm drinking the rest of my bottle.
Okay.
Didn't
Mako?
you have almost an entirely full bottle with like maybe one shot taken out of it?
Marco, I don't think you
No,
can
no.
physically drink an entire bottle of fire water
Without
without there
throwing
being
up?
serious consequences.
Without
what I'm
throwing
going
up,
to get you
yeah,
to do,
or like, yeah, that's
could you
fine.
please
I am
roll
not- ready. I'm not ready for like what happened today. So this is the.
What statistic is the most accurate for you to roll with?
Passion.
Creativity.
Part of me is like focus to try and stop yourself throwing up.
Well, hang
Kinda
on.
makes sense.
What's his balance between? Because you can make him roll with one of his balances.
You just roll push your luck. Can you
Forgiveness
survive
and
this?
action.
I'd say action.
I'd say this is rolling with action. I agree. Good call.
That's
But I
better.
feel like this is an internal struggle that would be very much balance based.
Needs meditation, not
I hope it's
firewater.
bad.
What is that? Andrew hasn't come through yet.
That's a 10.
It's a 10. It is a 10. Absolute success. Mako, as you get halfway through the bottle, you realize that if you drink more of this, it's going to make you sick. Right now, you are very pleasantly buzzing. As you go to stand, you find the world kind of shifting a little bit underneath you. And as you look at the narrow tree branches that you're walking on, I'm going to say that this is the moment where you realize if you drink any more, you are at risk of getting drunk enough to fall off the tree.
I didn't know. I thought the bottle was smaller. Sorry, I was like, I don't know how big the bottle was. Yeah, I was
it's probably like, I think I'm going to say like maybe 750 mils.
Like a standard.
And you're 16.
I thought it was like a smaller bottle for some reason.
No. It's like a bottle. It's like 750 mils, and you're a 16-year-old who's not had the opportunities to drink.
You've had like a glass of wine at dinner growing up.
Yeah.
A watered down one
that's fine.
because
That's sort of the-
Daddy Bao
That's
is
sort of
not
a good state where I wanted to be in anyway. So I'll just sit there and just
really buzzing. Like as
like
you lean
this.
back and like lie down, you can feel the world moving underneath you, swaying
good.
almost like a ship at sea. The stars above shine brightly through the canopy of leaves above, sometimes swirl a little bit at the edges of your vision. It feels good.
Yeah, that's good.
Feels real good.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's what I wanted.
While Mako goes off and gets shit-faced.
Alcoholic.
Yeah. Mako condition, buzzing. While Mako is off drinking his problems to forget and developing an early alcohol dependency, what are the rest of you guys doing? Heading to bed? Have a sleep?
Yeah, I was
honestly.
here.
Yeah, I don't think he's got much more to go on tonight.
Is there any spare tents or anything, or should I grab the
Yeah.
one off of Mango?
The tent off of Mango, you won't need to set up a tent. There's the larger tent that had the cages in it. There's about 6 other tents that have sleeping pallets and things like that in them. Like you could just grab a tent. A number of them have like 1 or 2 sleeping bags if you wanted to share. Otherwise, there's enough that most of you could grab a tent each. Mazon grabs a tent by himself, zips it up. Seng and Nomu share a tent. Legshay goes and gets a tent by herself, which leaves like 5 tents, enough for 1 for each of you if you wanted.
I go into the nearest tent and zip it up.
Yeah, zip it up, head to sleep. Perfect. You guys can all benefit from a uncomfortable rest inside, like not an uncomfortable rest, like a rest
Rough sleep
in the
indoors.
wild. Rough sleep indoors. Thank you. Yeah, rough sleep indoors.
So 3?
Clear 3.
Yeah, 3 fatigue. You mean?
Can I just?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna clear 2
Nice.
Why 2?
because I don't know how long I would have been outside, and I don't know.
Probably passed out drunk outside.
At some point, you'll fall asleep. So,
Yeah.
all right, like I see what you mean.
But
Then you would have
outside.
only been able to clear
Yeah, I
2.
didn't.
Yeah. Fair. In that case, yeah, you will have a lovely sleep. When you awaken in the morning, we'll discuss that next episode. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. That is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. We will get to the next morning, next session. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. We will be back next time. For those of you who are joining us on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to go and raid Corsair's Cove, our lovely friends over in the Cove, Josh the Pirate and his lovely crew. We will be back tomorrow night with Return of the Giants, and we will be exploring the giant echoes. I've been busy over the past few days creating special giant classes and giant stat blocks for the giant echoes that each of the characters are now able to inhabit when they see back into the past. So we will be exploring those. All of that homebrew will be up on the wiki at some point in the future as well. So yeah, very, very exciting times in Return of the Giants. Lots of really cool stuff coming. But until then, that is all from us here at the Lost Archives tonight. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again before too long. Until then, farewell, everybody. Goodbye!
Bye.